Tommy, Frater, what's good, guys?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Tommy?
Happy anniversary, man.
For what?
For her, Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, I don't know if we told
Allegedly killing himself.
I don't know if we told you, chat, but when we were outside, I got a notification from like something that somebody had shared from last year, and it said last night, Jeffrey Epstein had killed himself. Imagine how surprised he was, or if you're surprised, Jeffrey Epstein killed himself.
It's really been a year.
Well, I'm sure he was pretty surprised too
allegedly.
when they came in to help him kill himself.
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick.
Or just gave him the tools.
Yeah.
You do it or we'll do it.
So, for anybody listening out there, on this episode, we wanted to really kind of address the fucking giant elephant in the room in society lately, with that being of the Hollywood pedophile shit and everything else that pertains to it, man. The sex trafficking, the child trafficking, the Pizzagate shit, the fucking pedogate shit, Hollywood gate shit.
Oh, yeah, it says right there, August 10th, right?
Yeah, August 10th today.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. 1 year anniversary. What are the odds?
With everything that's been going on in, like,
Synchronicity.
macro and micro scale, it's like, yeah, I'd say it's pretty spot on at this point.
Well, yeah, not only that, but, like, when did we plan this episode? We planned this episode, like a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
About a week
and then
ago.
last week, me and
Yeah,
Chap
we were gonna try to do it
read
last
each
week.
other's tarot, and here we are. You know what I mean?
Oh, so, yeah, before we really get into anything, dude, how the fuck did that go?
That was cool.
Yeah, it was
It's
fun.
like, I mean, honestly, like when he busted out that deck, I'm like, how do you have it? It's like, yeah, that doesn't.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, that's so crazy, man. Like, Chap was telling me about it, and he's like, oh, man, dude, Tommy came over, and we fucking see my Aleister Crowley deck, and shit got weird, and I was like, oh, man. It's like, damn, dude, you guys fucking do all the fun shit without
Well,
me.
yeah, it was like 6 at night. It was still early, and just, I don't know. Maybe that's why it worked so well. There weren't really any expectations.
So tell me about it real quick, like, because obviously this is going to play into a lot of this ritualistic bullshit eventually, too,
If you
but...
believe a lot of the stuff that Crowley wrote, he dabbled with children himself, or at least wrote about it in the first person.
Yeah, I don't know much about him. Like, I know a little bit here and there.
Oh, I mean, the dude was without a doubt a genius, but unfortunately, when you're a genius with absolutely like no restraints,
Yeah, he had money
or
he
moral compass, like pretty much besides a moral compass, like throws it to the wind just to.
Well, he was doing some weird shit, right? He was doing some, like...
He was just trying to experience whatever the experience was at all costs.
Like, I mean, I heard he was, like, doing shit, like, he was trying to open, like, satanic portals and shit.
Well, I was like,
some
satanic portals is kind of...
Yeah, I don't think he believed necessarily. He may have even believed he was the devil.
Whatever he
called
believed,
himself the Beast. A lot of people called him the Beast. He called himself the Beast. He signed his name. The Beast. At least.
He felt he was reaching just a full human potential, and that's why he considered himself the Beast.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Just because, like, he was doing everything he could to have a human experience.
Well, it's weird to
and
me,
to
man,
define it.
that they because he had the, what was the Golden Dawn, the,
OTO.
Yeah, he was the
OTO.
imperator of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, but they threw him out because of all the darker shit that he started to get into, considering that, like, Golden Dawn magic and Rosicrucian magic is all pretty straightforward, like, right-hand path, Christian gnosticism, but, like, then he started getting into the more darker, Amberlin and teachings by a guy that did, like, the Enochian magic and stuff like that.
Oh, no shit.
I can't think of the names right now.
Well, in any event, that was just funny because...
But still, like, he was on
did a
it.
lot of that shit, too.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Well, that's where it all starts. And then, like, this is what I wanted to get into, the whole why behind, like, the pedophilia thing. But, I mean...
Well, let's start at square one. For anybody listening and has been living under a fucking rock, 2020 has been weird as fuck, right? We can agree on that. Like, 2020 has been insane, dude, in terms of just fucking everything. But the pedophilia thing has been standing out as of late. Like, it's gained a lot of traction.
Finally got some
Thank
exposure.
God.
Well, right, thank God. Thank the fucking heavens that shit is actually being done about this shit now.
Well, I mean, Hollywood's gone unchecked since its inception. I mean, pedophilia and sexual child abuse aside, does Hollywood have any type of labor laws? I mean, kids can go on a set and work 15, 17 hours in a day in a movie and acting, and you know what I mean. They're just totally unchecked, and
the parents don't care.
Right, and
it's
right, and that's the thing is a lot of these parents sell their kids out, man. They sell their fucking kids out.
Yeah.
Like these child stars grow up fucked up.
Do you see that? Like it's still trending. So, like free Britney Spears. Just
Oh my
because,
God, yeah.
she is absolutely controlled by her father and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She's a grown ass woman, like going into her 40s.
Did you see that video she put out? Yo,
Yeah.
she like there was mad people, dude, talking about like, dude, you see the Illuminati symbols and the white power symbols and all this other shit, and I was like, I didn't really necessarily see that stuff, but
she's a
it was
a wind up doll.
It was weird,
for her
dude.
Dad.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like she's like all over the place and doing fucking dance moves and shit that make no sense, and it was weird. But I did see it because that's like one of the most infinite stories that are infamous stories ever. Is Britney Spears? She came up through the whole Mickey Mouse Club and like the being groomed to be this star,
right?
You know, and then. Like Chap kind of says, sometimes it's like the programming starts to wear off.
Well, it's like I follow like satirical pages called like the Mickey Mouse, Disney Illuminati cult and like stuff that, you know. But still, there's like half truths behind all of that shit too, though. You know what I mean? Like manipulating these kids.
What do we got over there, Chap?
I was looking something up and it decided to play.
He came across our video.
One more time, baby.
We started a dance party. Real quick. No, but yeah. So her father has like complete control over her entire shit, right?
Still,
like,
because of legal stuff and like discourse, and because of her alleged mental health, she's not allowed to make any legal decisions for herself unless if she appeals herself to a court.
What the fuck?
But she can't even do that because
how does that happen,
she's so
though?
controlled.
Like, how does that happen?
Her dad reading the law when she was mad young. Like, he's clearly a psycho, like a manipulative psycho that is versed in these weird fucking laws because he's found every way to make it so she can't be free of him.
Right. So let's get.
She has complete control over money, but
I would think that he's
probably
not the one pulling the strings. I would think though, seeing that
at this point
she's been involved since the Mickey Mouse Club or whatever.
Right, but he's the biggest beneficiary though. Even if he's not pulling the strings anymore, he still has it tied so that he's the benefactor. He's the one that gets all of her money. He's the one in control of all of her money.
Didn't Lindsay Lohan have a similar situation with her dad for a while? I'm not sure if he had that much control, but I know there was a huge battle between them.
She went fucking nuts. Her and what was the other one? Amanda Bynes too. Amanda Bynes went off the fucking.
Oh, hardcore, worse than Lindsay because at least she's like still doing like.
Well, they all hit that age.
Shit, but
Kesha, was it Kesha? She was forced by Sony to keep working with a producer, whoever she allegedly raped her repeatedly.
Yeah, they were at a log.
They went to court and they said, "Nope, you're staying in your contract."
Yeah,
Sony said, "You're still working with them."
There was a whole movement for Kesha too, man. But like, so getting back to it though, where does this fucking shit start, man? Like, let's go back in history when. Obviously, this shit with kids has been going on forever, right? Like. All the way back into past medieval times.
Has to be.
The furthest I found back to it, man, was like the ancient Indian caste systems. Like, remember the caste?
Oh,
the caste systems, dude. And
You're talking like ancient, like Hindu, like Eastern Indian. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, my bad.
No. I mean, we should say Native Americans, Indians anyway. But I hear you.
For real, yeah, for sure. But essentially, that like it starts with like not really starts with it, but because it starts with being a piece of shit, but after that, it's like these systems were pushing children into the arms of men. They were saying there's no real age limit over there. You know, like you could
child brides all day.
That's what I'm saying. Is there forced marriages? They're arranged marriages? They're child marriages? You know, they were saying it's something like.
Well, and the Islamic faiths aren't really any better.
No.
Right around 14,
Christian
15,
faith.
so.
I mean, the Bible's literally
Mormons,
all of it.
Mormons, Catholics. It's all controlled religion.
Humans.
Have used it to fuck kids.
Let's be clear. This isn't a religious attack because it goes across.
No,
every
this is an attack
spectrum.
on organized and controlled religion.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
You know, there's tons of different like Christian sects, but like when it comes to like Protestants and stuff, I give them a little bit more credit because they're more of just hey, I kind of need some guidance. I'm going to do something, but then you get into the Catholicism and stuff, and it gets really hard to like something strange is going on. It's like especially with Catholicism and their whole outright, stance against satanic or devil worship, but meanwhile they're doing mass and pagan rituals and stuff that, predate way before any of the stuff that happened, at least during the time of Christ.
Well, right, but it goes back before that. Like it goes back. It goes back before Christ. It goes back before any of that. At some point in time, the youth aspect went out the fucking window. Like it was okay.
Well, it seems like almost somewhere along the lines, humans spoke up and became kind of rational. I was like, hey, there's something wrong here. I mean, even 100 years ago or a little bit more, it wasn't unheard of for a grown man to marry a 13-year-old who was old enough to reproduce. Like, literally back then, it's like that was the qualification. I don't think it had anything to do with age. I was like, hey, could she reproduce? And
yeah.
No, I know it's fucked up.
Oh, she's old enough
to breed.
Yeah,
that's how,
I mean, we're jumping way ahead to founding fathers, but we brought up Thomas Jefferson on one episode, and I mean, how old was Sally? Like 13 or 14 when he impregnated her. So,
right.
I mean, you don't ever hear anybody call him a pedophile.
Well, that's because that's the whole.
Different times, but it's like,
well, he's a pedophile
at some degree.
There were people back then who weren't.
Us as men kind of know like that whole animal side when I know it. I can recognize it. Like these people that are like these dudes that are getting like 13, 14-year-olds.
It's predator shit.
Exactly.
Like,
it's a sense of control. It's like
it's not even just that, man. Like I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Right.
Because like just having a daughter myself, it's like even before having a daughter, man. Like I was raised by women, my mother, my sister, all them, and they obviously would kick the fucking shit out of me if I got out of line like that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like I couldn't physically or mentally bring myself to be attracted to somebody that is underage. Like to me, that's a child. To me, that's like that's innocence. You know what I mean? Like, and
there's no reason to bring it into your world.
Not even just that, dude, but like to how these people justify this in their minds. Like, so
exactly. That's
I'm
right.
I'm almost 40, and
right.
The older I get,
how old are you?
39.
How much? No.
The older I get, it's the age shifts with me. It's I see a 20-year-old. I mean, I would think she's 15. I mean, 15 to 20 now. I can't tell the difference. Well, 22, whatever.
Right, but that as men. As fucking men who are more liable to
look at him like a daughter.
But this is what I mean. But as men, we are more liable to hold ourselves accountable to say that is unacceptable.
I'll say it's crazy that we've actually made it to that. Not that every man is like that on the planet, obviously, but that we actually have. There's a large majority of us that are like, "Yo, that's fucked." It's like we need depth. We need someone that can challenge us, and that's where I go. Like, I'm not justifying it. But it is that sense of control. Like, they control every aspect of that person's life because they can't control. It's the whole, goes back to like, maybe it's an archetype, the whole Adam and Eve thing versus Lilith. You know what I mean?
Well,
like where
Irv had a good point the last episode, dude. Not to cut you off, Tommy.
Yeah, no, go for it.
He had a good episode, or a good point was that, like, in our brains, it's fucked up. But in their brains,
it's a disorder.
Right.
It's a normalcy. They don't see it as we do. Like, they see it as, it's like, dude, no, this is my emotion.
I think 100% of the time, though, it's because of trauma and it's not genetic. Right. Like, whether it's a mutation or something. Like,
Tommy,
it's not even
twist
a mutation.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well,
there we go. That's better.
We talked about Pedophile Park on the documentary Pedophile Park on one of the episodes, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I brought up the one guy in the episode or in the documentary who was ready to go through chemical castration because he felt that was the only way that he was going to be able to stop.
Right. Yeah. He was able to at least recognize it in himself.
But that's him acknowledging that he does mentally, that he has to fight these urges. You know what I mean?
They're going to be there
but
forever.
It is a passed on trauma. It's something that they experience. It's like, it's just an endless circle. It has to be. It's like, I don't think it just pops out of anywhere that like, hey, this is a good thing. This is what I want to do right now.
I've always,
a lot of them
I've
are
always said
definitely,
it's like a chemical imbalance, dude. Like, you're not wired right. Like, something up there ain't firing on all cylinders.
But you would also be surprised, dude, with how prevalent sexual abuse is in a lot of families. Like, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah,
talk
about it.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of trauma that leads to that. Like,
Absolutely. For sure, and it shouldn't happen at all.
Yeah, it's a cycle,
you know?
like domestic
But
violence
where,
and things like that.
it sucks, man, because until there is real change, they'll never change, you know? And they could fight it, they could fight it as much as they want, but it's really on the individual, to not make that fucking decision.
And it will always be on the individual. It's like, you can, like, there's trauma and all this, and I know, like, it's not easy to undo trauma without more trauma, really.
Yeah, for real.
Whether it's hallucinogenic or whatever. Like,
yeah, you got to get at it somehow, dude. You got to address it for sure. Otherwise, it festers, and then it's there for the rest of your fucking life, and it affects you. Right, it affects you in one way, shape, or form. But when it comes to the elite, when it comes to the power elite, right? So now, is this just a system or a behavior that has gone on for time immemorial because, like you said, they run unchecked, or is it like?
I wanted to ask this question too. Is it ritual?
Or
is it ritual energy, like harnessing? Is it some just fucked up, sadistic, like trauma caused, like behavior? Right. Or is it something in between?
Well, that's
a
that's
combination
what I'm
of both. Because it's like maybe it's like one does lead to the other, though, in the sense that fucking up some purity or whatever is some kind of.
Well, all right,
gain something temporarily in the flesh.
Well, this is what I mean about the historical shit, because we've actually also mentioned her on the podcast before, but there was one of the queens or somebody like that used to go and have young women, and they would bring them back to the...
Sacrificing virgins has just been a thing forever, even in like Mayans and stuff, you know what I mean? And the Aztecs, like, that's what they did for, just to grow some crops. Like,
exactly.
But and then taking their sexual innocence before, though, that's just it. You're just milking the cow before you take it to slaughter at that point, and like in an energy sense. But we have to be on that level.
But that's what it is. But that's what I'm saying is like, are these like, so check it out. So like you have generations, you have generations of Hollywood, right? So like this shit goes back for a long time. But like, so check it out. So like you have people like Roman Polanski, right? Like, Chap, while you're on there, will you just Google when Roman Polanski got fucking charged with raping the 12-year-old at Robert fucking De Niro's house, right?
Weinstein.
Yeah, Weinstein's the most recent. But like I'm saying, like Polanski, dude, there's motherfuckers. You never heard of Roman Polanski?
I've heard the name. I know that it's tied into this, but
he's a filmmaker and
he was another producer.
Yeah,
who was his wife?
His wife?
Yeah.
Well, it was a child, wasn't it? Didn't he adopt a kid and like marry her or some shit?
Maybe I'm confused. I thought he was married to Sharon Tate.
Polanski? Yeah, he was at one point.
Yeah, until she was murdered.
Yeah, until she was murdered, and he was in Italy or some shit when she was murdered. Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, allegedly. I'm sure she was, but
she was murdered. They took the baby right out of her stomach.
Yeah, she was. Yeah,
they never found out who did it, right?
Manson.
Well, Manson's family did it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it was all tied into that.
Well, yeah, it's like it's kind of crazy, that,
dude.
Well, Manson, unfortunately, part of, that whole alternate right though, but that is like fighting against this shit.
Dude, I got
the broken clock that strikes twice a day. Like, I wanted to get into that with like the QAnon and stuff, and like the alt right a little bit in their role.
Well, I mean, we'll touch on that.
It was 77. 1977.
All right, so 77.
They won an Oscar like within the last.
Right, so just getting back into like Polanski real quick. So now Hollywood is known from the 70s at the very least, because this is the most publicized like thing. So Polanski, for you, like, where is he now, chap? He's not in the United States. He's in
I
France
don't think he's ever came back. Poland, somewhere, Switzerland. I don't know.
Yeah, so he went to somewhere
back.
He couldn't be extradited back from. So like he was charged with raping a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old at Robert De Niro's house. At De Niro, not drugged her, but most people's favorite actor, dude, at his fucking crib, poolside.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? And now he's been gone, and he's still making films over there, and people are still watching the shit. And
well, he had a movie that he produced like within the last 15, 20 years in America. I mean, like Meryl Streep, everybody's giving him a standing ovation at the Oscars or whatever award.
Nobody's gonna stop watching Tom Hanks, and he's now Greek.
Yeah. But that's all right. So this is what I'm saying generationally, though. So you have, this shit is happening, right? So now they're compromising people, and it is ritualistic to kind of get that extra, the power, the fucking, whatever, or is it like they're just compromising people? Like, hey man, come to this party, come hang out, and then next thing you know, it's like, did you guys hear the story with Isaac Cappy? Like, Chap, I know you did, but like, Chat, you know who Seth Green is?
Yeah.
You gotta know what Seth Green is.
Of course.
So Seth Green,
You don't see him anymore.
Isaac
Why?
Cappy, right? Isaac Cappy came out and said some shit like, "Yo, sorry Seth, sorry this person, but you guys are pedophiles." Like, there's a video of it on Instagram, on Facebook, or you can find it just about anywhere. But basically said that he was like eating dinner at Seth Green's house, and like the dude opened up like a secret door, and he's like, "This is where we keep the kids." And now
shit.
yeah. So and he got bugged the fuck out. So he's like, "All right, nah, whatever, dude." You know, and he left. So next thing you know, him and his girl Seth Green like invite Isaac Cappy over for dinner, and they tell him that like, "All right, look, this is what we do in Hollywood. We fuck kids." Swear to God. So like now this dude ends up dead on Route 66. Like, what was it? Tom Hanks tweeted about it, bro. Roadkill on Route 66, like 15 minutes later.
Well, no, the
shit.
guy that supposedly Hanks tweeted about was this black man, and I can't remember his name.
Oh, really? I thought it was Cappy.
No, he was just, I don't want to say wannabe actor, but that's what he was trying to do. And the last picture of him ever was at a Maria Abramovich spirit cooking, and he was all painted up in part of the art, and he vanished. And
Well, what was the Hollywood reference that you made to me before?
Which one?
oh, like where the name came from?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've read that the origin of the name Hollywood is from Merlin.
At least what you found.
Merlin the magician's wand was made of wood from the holly tree.
Exactly, because now you
that
got.
would make sense.
Not only do you have the child star, fucking all that. Now you have also making these
Magic.
films using this energy that you are now enticing millions. You are selling this lie to. You are literally manipulating people and controlling them through a lie. That is a power in its own and a way to harness energy to be able to fool people to that degree and to disillusion them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they show it to us. I mean, you brought up De Niro. What's the one film? I think it's a Tarantino film. It's like I don't know, it might be Jackie Brown or something. I'm not great with movies and movie references, but De Niro has a small part in it. He had just got out of prison. He was sitting in like a beach house. He was a real scraggly dude, and he ends up fucking his friend's daughter while the friend leaves, and she's underage, and he bends her over the fucking kitchen sink and fucks her. I think it's Jackie Brown.
Wow. Oh shit.
But yeah, he's in. I mean, look at who's the Chris D'Elia, comedian.
Yeah, comic. Yeah.
He's gone. Like the accusations about him came out, and I don't know if the girl released it or said she was gonna, but like she was like 16, and then some other people came forward, but. He played, I guess he's on a TV show currently, or was on one that just finished, where he was kind of like a pedophile, rapey dude. And I know he appeared on an episode of Workaholics where he was a sex offender, pedophile, and he was making like jokes throughout the whole episode of sleeping with kids.
Just the fact that you see it that much more, you're seeing it more and more and more.
Well, it's normalization.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, they were trying
desensitization. So that
it's normalization.
Yeah,
man.
these dudes are trying to find weed, and they end up. I don't know how connecting with D'Elia, and they find out he's a sex offender. And no, what happens was they were gonna set him up because he was trying to. They did like a To Catch a Predator type thing to him.
Right.
They pretended they were a young boy, and he came to the door.
Sit down a minute.
Yeah,
fucking,
so he
who wants that role,
so he came to
That's
the door.
So
Chris
crazy
fucking Hansen.
But he had a bag of good weed on him,
Have a
and
seat
they didn't
right
have any
there.
weed, so they just invited him in to hang out, and they ended up just becoming good friends with this fucking pedophile, going to
But
a
this
party
is
with
what-
him. And
This is what I'm saying though. Is that did you see the
jokes.
shit? The most recent shit with like TikTok, and then obviously the trolls doll. Like this shit is literally normalizing our kids to.
Dude, there's so many Facebook
Be
pages
more
of like
acceptable
Hindu
to it.
dudes like just like worshiping like little white children all over the place. It's fun.
And then you have the rich white European dudes who go to countries in Africa to rape
like
little
places
children.
in Guyana, dude.
Or are on like princes of England that are on Epstein's flight log.
Oh my God.
People
no.
have been going to Thailand
I mean,
to have sex with
Max-
minors for it's running.
The
joke,
Maxwell
you know what I mean?
document's legit, right?
absolutely.
Didn't they say like and Prince
Well,
Henry's on there?
Prince Andrew.
Prince Andrew. That's
But
right.
yeah, essentially they are still releasing all of the transcripts, the sealed documents from her libel case, where her defamation suit, like Virginia Jeffrey or whatever her name is, said that like she won a defamation lawsuit against her, but they had all the records sealed because they didn't want them being released to the public, so on and so forth. Now they're being released, and There's a lot, bro. There's a fucking lot going on, dude. Some chick just bounced out of England. Her ex-personal assistant just bounced out of England, dude, because she's fucking fearing for her shit, too.
Well, Prince Andrew didn't go to his own daughter's wedding.
Yeah. Princess Eugenie.
So, I mean, it's...
And then, is Trump really going to actually pursue this, or is he just in on it, too? And they're going to, like, make it look like they take down this big ring, but really the other half or 2/3 are going to be able to just continue doing as they've been doing, you know what I mean?
I don't know, man, because he's making so many waves, dude. Just that shit he did with the pharmaceutical industry.
He's sick, though. I mean, if you want to believe, like, the transcripts and stuff going back, the reason that he stopped talking to Epstein is because they got him on argument over who was going to take this 14-year-old girl's virginity.
Yeah.
And supposedly that's why they stopped talking.
Those are in court documents, too.
Exactly. Are they real court documents?
Well, right.
It's tough.
Well,
it's hard,
disinfo
dude.
everywhere. You know?
Well,
I don't.
yeah.
It's like I want to believe everything.
But there's
and
enough
nothing at the
out
same
there
time.
that's factual that you can go off of. That's factual.
That you know Trump's a scum.
Well, not
Like,
only
yeah.
just... Not
I
only,
just mean as far as the pedophilia in Hollywood and how it
Right.
reaches to upper
Right.
levels of senators.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
well,
it's
look at
not
how
just
many
Hollywood,
senators...
It's,
Right.
It's
I'm-
the rich
I'm-
and famous. It's newspaper editors. It's freaking... It's chiefs of police. It's judges. It's... I mean, there's judges that have literally been arrested for funneling kids into human trafficking or into the prison system. Boys Town in Ohio. I mean,
Right. And I'm just
literally
trying to, like,
trafficking kids. It's a hub. It was a hub.
And what I'm trying to
Right.
say is, like, you know, like, oh, Maxwell's in FBI custody now. Okay, well, are we actually going after this, or is it just a whole show? You know what I mean?
I
It's like,
think-
because it's like you're saying, Chap. It's like,
Yeah,
you know,
they're
they're all
throwing
in
us a
on it.
bone.
If they're all in on it, it's like, hey, let's make everybody feel like we solved this problem. Just like we're
Exactly.
still solved. Now it's going to be no longer the war on drugs, the war on pedophiles. But yeah, like, you
to
know,
show
like,
that Epstein had very little power, look how easily he lost everything. And you're going to tell me that void wasn't already filled before? You know what I mean? Like,
for
there was
every-
another... there was a...
There's two more Epstein
Yeah,
Islands
there's
somewhere, dude. Fucking
yeah,
Hydra,
and-
you know. It's like you cut one head off, there's two more somewhere.
If you think
Like,
that he was the
Bohemian
only
Grove,
one...
all these places that they
If you
actually
think
go.
if you think he was the only one procuring
testimony.
underage females, dude, you're out of your fucking tree. Like these guys were doing
they're
it
still
long
doing-
before
I mean,
Epstein.
on small scales and large scales. Like, there's, you know,
Well, I don't think there is a small scale now. This is what I'm saying. Is just like with sex trafficking in general, there is no small scale, dude. Like whether it's one prostitute that's being held against her will, or it's 1,000 children. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's still.
I got you on that.
You dig what I'm saying? Like this shit is crazy, dude, and it's something like a $30 billion business. So these motherfuckers are gonna protect it. Fat ass, you wanna grab that? Oh, for anybody listening, shout out to Mikey. Mikey Collins is here rolling my blunts. Thank you.
Ignoring you.
Yeah, he is. He's always fucking ignoring me. But he's keeping them fucking
No,
blunts
blame
ready
the
though.
fire.
He's keeping them blunts ready for me to grab and spark. That's
Well,
like-
I mean, I think personally, of all the shit that I've ever read or came across, I think that the Franklin scandal, the Franklin cover up, is the best and the most important expose on what is going on and what has gone on forever. You have a senator, at the time, who exposed all this stuff, and he didn't plan on it. He thought it was a joke when he was asked to investigate these allegations of the Franklin Credit Union's.
This is the Bonacci shit too.
Yeah,
right?
Alicia Owens and Paul Bonacci. I mean, and it just shows you how deep it goes. I mean, Paul Bonacci talked about going to Bohemian Grove and not even knowing who Hunter S. Thompson is, but describing him and talking about this man making snuff films and him admitting to killing another child and seeing kids dropped out of I know it's extreme, but like dropped out of helicopters, making snuff films, making child porn at Bohemian Grove. And then you start to look at some of the people that have been there and some of the quotes about, you know, even Richard Nixon, I believe, said it's the faggiest thing I've ever been to.
Nixon was
Bill Clinton said, "I don't."
but he was
Bill Clinton said, "I don't run
right.
around naked in the woods."
Dude,
chase,
it's like Trump is our generation's Nixon. When it
Is that
really
what
comes
Clinton
down to
said?
it, but-
Clinton
but-
said something when they asked him if he ever been to Bohemian Grove. He said, "I don't run around naked in the woods" or something like that.
I don't believe that at all. He was definitely running
Well, it's
naked in the woods.
predominantly
For sure.
a Republican thing from everything I've always read. I don't know why. But, I mean, Bohemian Grove's definitely I mean, there's pictures of Ronald Reagan when he was not even senator of California or governor of California yet, and you have Gerald Ford. It was I believe Reagan and Ford and oh my God, I just had his name on the tip of my tongue. The guy who created the
Bush
seaboard. Well, yeah, the Bushes.
sure.
The Bushes, I think, have their own camp. I think it's the hillbilly camp. Literally, they have their own camp. I think.
No shit.
Yeah.
At the Bohemian Grove?
Yeah.
Well, it was.
Well, I mean, you go back to Prescott.
They're the
and everybody. I
masterminds
mean,
Yeah, for
where
sure.
we're at right now in the Middle East. You know what I mean?
Well, like, that's all. This is.
but
this
that just
been planned
just
out
to finish my
100
thought
years
about
ago.
the
Yeah,
Franklin
finish
thing
it up.
is John DeCamp. I mean, he was voted like by the people, senator, favorite politician in Omaha or in the state of Nebraska, and this and that. And I mean, he made connections through the bank that was laundering money. I mean, it went from just a laundering money type thing to the human trafficking of drugs, child sex. It reached to the person who owned the Omaha Times, or what. It reached to the chief of police. It went to this guy who was like the richest guy in Omaha, in Nebraska, and it just was everybody. And then you have Bonacci talking about how he would get on planes with Larry King, not the CNN Larry King, but the Franklin scandal Larry King, and fly to D.C. and you have the cover of the Washington Times.
Well, he said he was trained he was trained also by the CIA, Paul Bonacci, right? He said,
Larry King, I mean, he had to have some serious ties. I mean, for everything that happened and the amount of money that was embezzled and laundered through that bank and the little amount of prison time he did, and how just this banker was chosen to sing the national anthem at the Republican National Convention for Ronald Reagan or for Bush in '88. How? Why?
well, you know why? Because they're all fucking connected.
They're all putting on a show for us that they know they have to do because they're just trying to.
Same old song and dance.
They
bro.
want us to move with their plan, like you know.
And
Oh,
you
for
have
sure.
you have the son Bush there. He
I just don't understand. Like, why? Like, if you're these fucking crazy pedophiles, dude, these elite pedophiles, and you're locking up other pedophiles, right? Like, you fucking all these people on the street. What is that? Just for show? Like, I don't understand it. Like, and then normalize it. You know, it's weird to me. Like, it's weird why, like, what the end game would be.
Well, I mean, it's all like if you think about it in the way that you need to start going after them right now to soothe all the people that are in uproar. But at the same time, you just all you have to do is just subconsciously you just put it out there. Like you start using different terms to describe pedophiles and how they're like whatever the fuck they call it, like young attracted adult or some shit. I don't whatever you know what I mean. It's like all you need is to plant those seeds in the subconscious, whether someone's actually aware of it or not. And the more it just comes across it, the more it's like they just it will normalize someone. It's like we are beings of like just.
Well, I had a conversation with somebody the other day about how these people have advocacy groups. Like, pedophiles have advocacy groups.
Exactly.
It's so weird because, like, anything you could have an advocacy group for, there is one, you know. Mm-hmm. But these people are serious offenders.
They're trying to have a voice,
you know,
cool.
and no, they shouldn't. Like, I I believe in second chances for anyone but a pedophile, for the most part. You know, like, I mean, I'm sure there's certain exemptions, but at the same time, like, I don't feel like once you've taken that from somebody, dude, you know, you can't give that back. You know, it's like, what the fuck? No, you should probably be dragged out back and shot.
Right.
You know?
But they're going to play both sides because they can play both sides. And both sides are an opportunity.
Well, they have to because it's fucking politically correct. You know? So it's like now.
It's all about keeping the static on the TV clean. You know what I mean? You just have to tune the knob left or right just a little bit to make sure that you get that image that they're trying to maintain.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like,
sorry about that. I had to set up the guard from Pearly. Pearl is Chap's cat.
Trying to hop on that keyboard.
Yo, listen, she's one of the last time. She's one of the coolest cats ever in the fucking world, dude, ever. But last time she jumped on the keyboard, fucked my shit up. You probably heard it in the last episode if you listened.
She's looking for a way up there right now.
Yeah, she's going to sit with her fat friend. Yeah, don't do it, Pearl. I see you.
Yeah, she's looking for a way up there.
I see you. Grab her, Mike. Put her right on your lap.
Curious.
But
while we were, I just pulled up because one last thing to tie into the Franklin thing. It was the June 29th, 1989, Washington Times newspaper, top of the fold. Homosexual prostitution inquiry ensnares VIPs with Reagan Bush. Callboys take midnight tour of White House, and you can obviously find that article and read it online. And talks about callboys and how high it reaches, but it just kind of validates what Paul Bonacci was saying. And Alicia Owen, who doesn't get enough credit because she was left to rot in jail, and I think she did many years for perjury.
Yeah, it was perjury, and he did perjury too, right?
Yeah, but he's out. And
yeah, I don't know what's going on with him.
He actually won. He actually John DeCamp stepped out of politics and went back to being a lawyer, practicing lawyer, and I believe won Bonacci a $100,000 civil suit. Obviously he didn't get any of the money, but
yeah, of course
he won. He won in court. Paul Bonacci won in court.
That's crazy, dude. Well, he was saying that he was like they had marked him down, dude, for like 13 or 14 different personalities.
Yeah,
and he had said like
that's what they do. They
there's videos,
you
Tommy,
different altars.
Tommy, you should check them out, dude, because there's videos where like he's talking to these people and he gives like his like he says, I swear to tell the truth, whatever, and then like 4 minutes later he's like, I didn't do that.
Oh fuck! Like,
well, it's because
but is it because he's trying to push?
No, dude, no.
Different altars. They shatter your brain and create compartments.
Basically said that he took part in an MK Ultra program.
Okay, yeah.
He was kidnapped as a kid and brainwashed, right? And he was fucking went through all of these things.
Like Jason Bourne shit.
But they break you down into, like he said, different alters. They take different personalities and they say, all right, this personality is responsible for this. This personality is responsible for this. When you get fucked up and get caught,
and they can access it, they can pull it out like a file.
For this,
boom,
so
boom.
Immediately you seem crazy,
right?
Like immediately,
and that's why it starts so young,
and that's why they don't remember like they shot the dude or not.
So
like Sirhan, I didn't. All them dudes were like, what?
Fritz Springmeier.
Well, Manson did the same thing. Basically,
Fritz Springmeier has a book, How to Create a Mind Control Slave, and he literally, through all of his research, breaks things down to the point where he has one chapter where he talks about Disney and how they would give children, as young as 4 or 5, LSD, sit them down in front of like the movie Fantasia, and he breaks down, 37 seconds. This comes on the screen, and this triggers this alter in the child, and he breaks down the whole movie, and it's probably 50 pages of just him talking about Fantasia and at which second what they're playing triggers what, and I mean anybody interested in the mind control stuff should check out.
Well, I mean, I've definitely watched Fantasia on shrooms. I'll say that, and like,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Especially the one with the broom and the wizard, that was pretty revealing.
Oh no shit!
From what I noticed, there's a lot in there though.
It's just they. I mean, Fantasia is just one example of a bunch he gives in there, and it's just a way that they condition their mind to create alters. And Kathy O'Brien talks about it too. She was a presidential mind control slave. Allegedly sold to Gerald Ford by her father when he was governor of Michigan or wherever he was governor. And she went on to, be a mind control slave until she supposedly met an ex-CIA agent who deprogrammed her. And
say what?
She
what did he do? How did he do that? I want to know.
I don't
how it happened. No, I don't know if you know.
Probably more.
No, it's they wrote a book about it. It's just, it's hard to nutshell what they did.
You probably have to
they
meditate.
escaped. Well, they escaped. They escaped. First, she had to get away from everything, and she talked about a lot of things in her book that, she talked about in Virginia where the Virginia Tech shooter was. She was talking about how that town they do a lot of mind control stuff there, and
so it's not far from Langley, right?
I'm not sure, but
isn't that where like the CIA headquarters is?
Langley, yeah. I'm not sure how far away Virginia Tech was, but she had a lot of stuff in there that ended up coming true. And the way they escaped was her getting away from it. She, I believe, was in Alaska or something. Like they fled to Alaska. They were driving all over. She had to leave her daughter, and then it was like a lot of regression. Like that type of stuff.
Well,
to access the altars because she didn't remember. She didn't remember a lot of this stuff.
Well, that's what they're saying is that like they didn't they built one for each situation. So if you're gonna be a spy,
Yeah, when
this
you're with this person,
personality
you're this alter.
is a
With this
spy.
person, this alter.
Yeah,
Right.
this one is a spy. This one is the shooter. This one is the and they break them down like that. But he
Manchurian Candidate. Like
what
that,
he
that type of
participated
stuff.
in
Trigger
that
word.
he participated in the kidnapping of that other kid. What's the other kid's name? He kidnapped
Johnny Ghost.
Johnny Ghost. Yeah, he admitted to it.
Well, the things they talk about, Project Monarch, the monarch butterfly. There's like thousands of different species of different butterflies. Why do all these Hollywood women get the same monarch butterfly, like tattoos? And it's always the same. Britney Spears. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank now. I'm trying to think of the name of the salon where she actually shaved her head because that's.
Oh, dude, yeah, but it was something crazy.
Yeah, it all ties into the different trigger words and symbols.
Yeah. Well, either way, man.
Well, I mean, isn't there that drug like in the in South America or in I forgot what island it was, but like you just blow it in somebody's face and like you can literally tell them what to do.
Scopolamine.
Yes.
I think it is.
What?
Scopolamine. That's it. Scopolamine.
Yeah, like they
got it.
They're like
Yep.
they
What
walk
the
up to you.
fuck
You
are
see,
you even talking
they hold
about?
a piece of paper.
Scopolamine. Look.
Scopolamine. You hold a
I've
piece
never
of.
heard of it.
It's a powder. You put it. They have to jam cotton balls with like alcohol or something way up their friggin' nostrils. The people who use it so they don't inhale it. So they'll like walk up to somebody with a little bit of it on a piece of paper, ask them what their phone number is. They'll sniff it in, whatever,
What the
and
fuck?
then you own them. Like I think Vice TV even did a documentary
Yo,
on it. I think.
Oh my
They
god.
call it like the Devil's Bell. Or
Yeah,
something
this
'cause of
one
the way
guy-
it grows or something like
this
that.
one
But
dude-
it's just in one island, like in one area. It's not a very
I
common.
can't imagine
plant.
how long the CIA's had something like
But
that.
that's
This
what I'm
dude
saying.
Cleaned
like,
out his bank account. Totally calm. The dudes who drugged him were outside in the car. He went into the bank, cleared out his bank account like $30,000-$40,000. He even like the manager was like, "What are you doing?" Took his money out, went home, cleared his apartment out, helped the people move the shit out of his apartment, and like when he came to, I don't know, the next day, whenever it was, when he came to, he was like, "What the fuck? Where's my stuff?" Went downstairs, asked the people at the desk, like, "Yeah, you were moving your shit out last night." Went to the bank. They were like, "Yeah, we had no reason to not give you your money." He had no clue.
Yeah.
They'll do that.
It's legit though.
Sex,
It's a
go up
thing.
to the ATMs, like all that stuff. Like,
That's
use it for anything.
intense, dude.
Yeah, it only lasts like a couple hours or something like
Think
that.
so.
It's not that long. but
Either
it's,
way,
like,
it
long
doesn't
enough,
matter.
But you
too
lose.
too long is
You're
too long.
you're there and you're aware, but you just have no will
Wow.
whatsoever.
That's
Like,
kind of bananas, dude.
Yeah.
And imagine how long most
But just
intelligence
that,
organizations have had something like
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
yeah.
Just that nature can do that. Just imagine what like a bunch of scientists spending decades could come up with.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, and like that's holy shit. That's insane. That's
Like I said, if a plant and like
it's got to be a
nature can
controlled
do it-
substance or some shit, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's not. It's something that's totally like unobtainable unless you're in the area. Like
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't even think you'd really be able to transport it, because I know at one point the journalist was sitting in the back
the
seat.
U.S. probably controls it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, for sure.
The journalist was sitting in the back seat.
It's one of
and
our islands.
The guy
Definitely.
I
had
think
the
it
guy
is. I
had
think
some.
it's like Puerto Rico or Cuba. Like it's one of
It's
the
a Commonwealth. Yeah.
Look it up real quick where it grows. I didn't see it. If you can.
Well,
I can get it
all
on
right.
my cell
So
phone.
getting back to the topic.
Yeah,
at
I mean,
hand, though. Like
we're talking about human control, but
definitely, absolutely. But do you think a lot of these people, like, so the missing children every year? Do you think these children are specifically, like, obviously you have some statistics, which I obviously feel are skewed, no matter what, because if the government's involved,
what
it's
about
definitely
the organ donor thing for like specifically like
skewed for the
more
power
more
elite.
black kids and stuff? Yeah, just for their like organs and why they like look so decrepit but keep going and shit. Like they're
Yeah.
just straight up harvesting like
It's
kids
it's absurd.
with
Well,
young.
there was
parts.
a theory. There was a theory that that's what the whole
And
UFO
organ
thing
donors,
was.
like mostly it was like organ donors that go missing all the time because they know like what kind of parts they got.
Wow, that would be insane too. Like you just I'm an organ donor on my license, and then you get fucking jammed up, snatched up, and like, oh yeah, yeah, we're gonna need that liver. Then
You go
fella.
missing with like in an iced up
Well,
bathtub. You know
I said
what I mean?
this. I said this to somebody also. Was that it's think about it like this: is a normal person would have to wait on a list for a liver, right? Like
Right.
for a liver, or if you're on you'd be on dialysis for who knows how long.
No, they just go to the black market. What they'll probably do is like they're not going to do it like straight up. They'll put a hit out for like, hey, there is an order for this specific like they'll go through a chain, and then there will be somebody out there that at least knows how to go through like the organ donor list and stuff like that to see who there is. That they don't even have to worry about accessing that kind of stuff.
Right.
They just have to pass it down. You know what I mean? Like
what George Carlin said. He said, "Don't ever fill out your organ donor card because if you get in an accident, they're going to let you go because they're looking for parts." He's like, they're not going to try to cure you, or they're not going to try to help you, save you. They're looking for parts.
Oh yeah, they're gonna let you. Well, how much of it is that too? How much is it like? I don't want to get into like obviously the fucking hospitals taking like.
Well, no, that would
killing people. For sure.
Well,
but
no, I mean, I'm an organ donor. Just a whole, worst case scenario, I help someone if I die.
He was more of a social.
Everything's kind of said
for sure, but still, that's
sociologist.
Like, I just heard that though, that like they specifically target like younger, like especially African American like youth and stuff because they go missing all the time. And
yeah, that's crazy. But so
the statistics in DC,
and they have good organs.
Yeah, the statistic in DC alone were
not beat around the bush.
Yeah,
unreal.
I don't want to. It's like, but
so what were you saying?
No, just the statistics of black children that go missing in Washington DC are just disproportionate to anywhere else in the country too. I mean, especially when it's
all right,
so black children specifically in Washington DC,
local grown. You know what I mean? It's like it's the same aspect. It's like, and if that's the case, it's like that's just just like everybody wants to say correlation doesn't mean
causation,
right.
But
well, again, so do you think? Because obviously,
why DC? Why not New York? Why
they're
not
putting the queen on fucking wait for like a liver? They're not putting the queen on wait for.
Makes it sound like DC has a lot of like ways to like disappear.
Oh, for
sure.
You
know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right, so
you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
New York was just built for commerce and for speed. Like,
well, who was it? One of our was it Anthony? No, not Anthony Weiner. Who was the one that was going down to DC for regular political business? But he was Ashley Dupree, I think. Spitzer, Elliot Spitzer. He was paying like $5,000 to bring. The call girl escorts down to DC.
And I'd still rather have him than Cuomo, I think. But
listen, 110% would I take Spitzer.
It's like, I mean, I can trust a man that at least is honest with himself, and
not even just that, but like
I don't remember much about him.
I'm not against sex work. Yeah. It's like Spitzer, he was paying legit women that were doing.
Well, that's all I remember about him.
No, he fucked up, dude, because he was like he led the charge against prostitution.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
That was the problem.
Yeah, he put so many. He put like a record number of people.
Yeah.
It always works out like that.
It always does.
Yeah, the pastors that are so anti-gay got 5 boyfriends.
All of them, dude.
Yo,
like any Republican.
You're gonna burn in hell.
Mitch McConnell, one of the leaders on like the war on drugs, somehow happened to have just some cocaine on like a ship that was like under his name. Like,
what was that big scandal that was up there? The foot tapping thing in the Senate or up in the Capitol.
Oh yeah, the guy no, it wasn't it? I don't know. Wasn't it a senator who like stopped at a rest stop that was always patrolled by police because it was a known like place for gay prostitution and. He was doing like a foot tap thing underneath, which is like a signal under the stall, and
you know what that is, right, Mike?
And under the stall, and they were like, they busted him, and he said, "No, I just have a wide stance. I was going to the bathroom. I just have a wide stance, like his feet were
underneath someone else's shit."
I'll never forget it. He said, "I just have a wide stance,
dude." Yeah,
bro. So, and I mean, this place was so high traffic that they were doing stings there.
But this is what I mean: is how the fuck has like our upper
There's
society
such a demand for that
gotten to this. No beef with
like
homosexuality if that's what you're into. But it's like how did we get to this point where it's like you're fucking kids and it doesn't matter.
But haven't they always? We're not part of them.
Yeah, like that.
They always those people always have.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know European history that well, but I know. Throughout just years of reading and just learning basic stuff in school and taking Western Civ and all this other stuff, it's like you remember all these kings and stuff that and monarchs that married somebody that was super young and probably their first or second cousin, and
right.
You know what I mean. And then like Elvis Presley, how old was Lisa Marie when she was like 14. Jerry Lee Lewis, he was one of the biggest rock stars of the time.
And there's
he
still
he
examples on our
stopped
planet
because
now.
he married his 13-year-old first cousin, I believe she was.
Oh my god!
So I mean, like, and that's his 50s and 60s,
Right.
Which isn't that far
and
away.
big stars. I mean, they were. There's no. Elvis is still one of the biggest stars
Ever.
Each year he still sells. He's probably top whatever.
Ever.
Seller every year.
They're still
married a 14-year-old.
Even in Western society, like besides like American stuff, like this wasn't really that uncommon. Like you were saying with
look at R.
Jefferson and
Kelly
stuff,
and
even
Aaliyah.
like 200 years ago.
R. Kelly and Aaliyah is a more recent. She was
It's like-
15.
Yeah, and
And
then
he
he
was
lied
20-something.
Lied.
Yeah, he had somebody else draw up the paperwork, and they
Right.
lied on the paperwork to get her married and said she was like 18 or 19, but she was only 15 years old, dude. And R. Kelly was married to her.
But
And R. Kelly was fucking a kid, a 15-year-old girl, dude.
I think it just goes back to what Tom said. Whether you're a Hollywood star, a politician, or just Joe Schmo that's a pedophile, it's about control. And if you're Joe Schmo, you're looking for control. It's lacking somewhere else in your life, and basically in your own head, you have no control of yourself. So that's what they all have in common. It's a control thing. And then you look at the people in Hollywood and the people who are in positions of power in politics. They want more power. They want more control. That's how they live their life. They're megalomaniacs.
If it is, if that blood sacrifice that, or even quote in a not a hypothetical, but a metaphorical, like the deflowering of the virgin or whatever they're going for.
Well, I'm sure you guys have seen like the stuff about like panda eyes and stuff like that.
No.
Panda
eyes.
Well,
we haven't.
Well, this is getting.
We haven't. Like,
no, it's been. Yeah. I've seen it on like social media.
I need.
What is it then?
Supposedly, it's like they
everyone else.
It's a thing where you rape a child so badly that they bust all their blood vessels, their eyes swell up, and they turn black all around their eyes, and they look like they have panda eyes.
What the fuck?
And then you have like Lady Gaga on videos and all these other celebrities doing like panda eye type stuff, and it's just it's kind of odd.
Fucking sick.
And I mean, it's getting no one wants to talk about it because that's like so disgusting, but that's the type of stuff.
I definitely want to touch in on
Paul Bonacci was saying like, hey, and this I've talked to people who were so into everything, but it's like you bring up Hunter S. Thompson and possibly making snuff films.
Well, dude,
it's
third
like,
world
not Hunter.
countries, like,
he did drugs.
No,
he's
it
cool.
wasn't him.
He tripped, man. He would have never done that. Oh, really?
And like in third world countries and stuff, even like in Vietnam and shit, it's like when the Viet Cong were going through and stuff, like even American soldiers, like
rape and pillage.
Dude,
and those are people that were put in that situation,
like hurting them for fun, like not only getting the thrill, like but doing
burning
it because
villages.
they get kicks. And
well, it's a
weird
well-known. We were talking about Genghis Khan on the last episode and how the world has what was it, 10% of the world could direct
control.
Well, it was.
His
it's just
DNA,
right. It's a demoralization thing, dude. It's like
Crowley was even said that the way to controlling someone was through anal sex.
Yeah,
that's a Crowley quote.
Yeah. Crowley was
it's like that.
crazy.
You can't quote me on like what I just said, not verbatim.
No,
but
definitely.
He
wrote poetry
like
about like the power of.
So he would bang dudes.
All kinds of stuff.
He would bang dudes to
anyone.
control them.
Crowley, he's
Charlie Sheen. Yeah, fucking Charlie Sheen.
I mean, you could make an argument for people we know in history, and I mean, there's only one. Aleister Crowley.
Well, no, I know.
That
I'm
dude.
just busting balls.
Well, why did the Beatles sing about him? Why did
everybody
Ozzy sing about him? You know what I mean? Like
everybody.
Sgt. Pepper,
Led Zeppelin,
Jimmy
Page went as far as to buy Aleister Crowley's house at Loch Ness, where he supposedly opened the portal that Evan was talking about. They believe that he did a. They believe that he did a ritual there.
He was locked in for like 7 days.
Brought in a spirit, and then he never did the ritual to send the spirit back, or whatever it was. I don't know if it was a portal or spirit, whatever. But that's why they believe that Loch Ness is haunted, and Jimmy Page bought it, and I believe it's burnt down and then was demolished. But you can look it up. Just Google or YouTube Jimmy Page doing Aleister Crowley. I mean, he was literally.
I'm gonna look more into him because
Jimmy Page was literally doing Aleister Crowley ritual on stage.
No, I forgot. I saw like a VH1
many
document
times
on this when I was younger, like way younger. I
Crowley
know
or
on Jimmy Page buying this
Jimmy
house
Page.
that
Jimmy Page was
like some of the craziest buys like ever in like the music world or some shit like that.
And then you look at like
All right,
all
so
the tragedy surrounding it.
So these dudes or people, because there's a bunch of females too, they basically sell their souls for this fucking fame. You know, it's essentially so like. But all right, so that's the end game. So what's the end game?
That's a good analogy.
It has to be because it's like that's how like that's how magic, like even the magic that Crowley was aware of. He knew that it was like
in songs, bro, like in a lot of music, man. So like I've heard it in multiple songs. I can't quote exactly which ones, but like there's like one by Sublime where like it's like, oh, you gotta sell your soul to be a big rock star, you know, or Eminem, you know, has said it 1,000 times. I've sold my soul, you know, rap devil or rap god, whatever the fuck, you know, all these different, you know,
even Jay-Z, any of them,
right.
If you want to see anything that just, and you have to definitely prepare yourself because this couldn't come from a further side of Christianity. The guy, his name's Joe Schimmel, and he does a 10 hours, five 2-hour DVDs, the history of rock and roll, and I mean he breaks everything down. The ties to Aleister Crowley. I mean, the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's. It was 20 years ago today, or 40 years ago today. Sgt. Pepper taught the band to play. They purposely released that song in that album. Sgt. Pepper was Crowley. Crowley was on the cover of Sgt. Pepper, and they released the album 40 years to the day that Crowley died. But anyway, Joe Schimmel, the history of rock and roll, or rock and roll sorcerers, it may be called, amazing. He does all the backwards masking, and he does it with a record player. Puts a record player up there, puts an album on,
spins it backwards,
and spins it backwards with his finger.
That all comes from.
And
like
you get all the backwards
Nicky.
masking stuff in Led Zeppelin, and it's just in all these other
so how does that happen? How do they do that? Like, what is that?
The universe, man. I don't fucking know. I have no clue.
Like,
to me, how the backwards masking? I mean, I don't know.
It's carefully written. It's like you have to like know it's.
Well,
and a lot of this stuff
like,
to be played front, or
Stairway to Heaven is the number one to listen to backwards masking. Stairway to Heaven, that song. So it's like ironic that song's supposedly about a stairway to heaven, but when you listen to it backwards, it's like 666. I love Satan.
The fuck out of here!
YouTube it right now, man.
Get the fuck out of here!
Stairway to Heaven. Backwards masking.
No,
I swear. I'll play it on here.
Dude,
want me to open it and see if I can play it on here?
Yeah,
It's like,
but
dude, it's
well. Here's what's crazy, dude, is because I was just gonna make I don't know if you guys seen the movie Little Nicky. Adam Sandler.
Okay,
it's like,
dude.
Yo, it's like you guys might like, you know, there's the Lord of, you know, rock or whatever, like they're trying to play Ozzy or something like that, and it's like he's pretty straightforward. But have you ever listened to Chicago? It's I am Lucifer, king of the underworld. And they're like, Chicago rules.
So you honestly think that's a coincidence, though?
Well, I mean,
not coincidence. It's like
or
they
was
were
it
able
written
to write it
there?
like that way. It's like
I'm not gonna try to play this because the only one I'm finding without looking a lot is it's an 8-minute one. But if you just go to YouTube and put in Stairway to Heaven backwards, it gives it this video I remember watching. It gives it to you forward and backwards, and then also with the closed caption, the lyrics, whatever.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna look.
But yeah, he's like, Satan will give you 666.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's like, I mean, they might have like just recorded a track and said that, you know what I mean, like at certain spots in rhythm, but just like, you know, spaced out, flipped it, and then just aligned their whole song with the flipped version of that.
But
you know
Jimmy Page or Robert Plant claims that he just like sat down they were in the studio like fucking. I haven't listened to this or like looked it up in literally like 10, 15 years, literally. But Robert, this is what makes it more amazing. And like, how is it a coincidence? If you're gonna believe Robert Plant, I believe said he like just was at the studio, sat down and wrote it one shot. And all these artists do. You know what I mean? It's like
that I can see happening. Like,
no, I mean that's just a conduit moment.
There were just people that were pulling shit in. Yeah, I think that applies for a lot of people. Tesla, fucking Da Vinci, all of them included. Like
Yeah, but I mean,
it's a conduit moment.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
and sometimes
definitely.
it's prolonged for a
You're
bit.
pulling
for sure.
in, you're
Like
pulling in some shit from somewhere, dude. And a lot of them say they don't know
Crowley
where it's coming
believes that he
Crowley,
wrote the
one of the
book of the
biggest.
law with a hidden hand or whatever,
Exactly.
guided hand. Blavatsky went to Tibet.
Most pharaohs with the serpent coming out of their head were all conduits for however long they were in power. They would think, at least.
from. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty nutty, man. That's
But-
fucking nutty.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad that we're actually like losing track of the pedophile, but coming back in because it's hard to talk. It's just hard to talk about.
I know,
fucking
right?
kids all the
Especially when
time.
you're like Panda Eyes. But
Well,
before we go back to it, I just had this pulled up because I want the scopolamine. Anyway, scopolamine, the devil's breath, comes from a particular type of tree in Colombia called the barachero tree. Barachero roughly translates to "get you drunk." Grows wild in Bogota, Colombia.
What?
Yeah, it's so
Just
famous
Colombia,
It's so famous in
There
the
you go.
countrysides that mothers warn their children not to fall asleep below its beautiful yellow and white flowers.
And this is the one.
That's the scopolamine we were talking about.
Okay.
And I looked it up too. There is a Vice TV thing on it on YouTube. It is on YouTube, and it's called the world's scariest drug or whatever you. That's what it's called. Most dangerous drug,
That's
world's
pretty cool,
scariest.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's not cool.
No, the
but it's-
documentary part is.
No, it's definitely
Yeah,
cool.
that's for sure.
like I said, just knowing that there is a plant that can do it. Just imagine like what a bunch of scientists can concoct, with stuff like
synthetic
Oh
that.
shit.
shit! What's
Yeah.
ayahuasca do?
Because that like with
Not
that
wait,
intent,
but
I can't wait to find out. That's for sure.
I'm straight. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, man. Is I obviously tried DMT, but
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's 15 minutes. It's like 15, 20 minutes, and you're back.
That's all
to
I
baseline.
need. That's all I need.
Right, that's it. Like ayahuasca, dude, could be 4 to 6
Dude.
hours, and I just don't have the time for that.
Day.
Or I don't
I
want
need
to
to take a week off.
I don't wanna be
like,
shitting
and
my
do it
brains
like in
out.
the beginning.
I
You
don't
know what I
want
mean?
right. I don't want to be like thrown up and shit.
I'm
my
okay
brains
with that.
out,
No,
like-
I'm okay with that. But it's like
I'm
it has
cool.
to be like in the beginning of the week. I need to have a week to process. I need
Oh,
to have
so it's
someone
cool.
to help me process a
So
little
it's
bit.
cool
make
to
sure I'm not good,
shit in your
but-
pants all day Monday morning.
if I have to to get that religious experience,
Yo,
fuck yeah, it's
I would-
because you'll shit your brains out and stuff for like
Be
maybe
shuking.
like an hour or stuff. Then that 4 hours where you're like got the substance out, but it's the DMT
Yeah.
still in you.
I
It's
think
like
we
same
should
thing
go
with
to
doing
Peru.
mushrooms.
We
Get
should
the
go to a
poison
fucking
out.
ayahuasca.
What's the most
retreat.
mushrooms you ever done at a time?
Me?
Yeah.
Dude, all right. So my psychedelic.
much.
No, dude, believe it or not, mushrooms for me. I had bought I think it was like a nickel or something like that, dude, and I was doing them with someone else, and I ate probably like 4 or 5 grams, dude, and it didn't
Yeah.
work for me.
Oh, what?
I swear to God,
I did 4 grams of these things to
the other
I
person
was gone.
The other person was fucking
me
great,
and this girl were
but
gone.
I was like,
But-
dude, I'm like, she's loving it, and I'm like, dude, I don't know, like, I'm just not feeling it. That's what prompted me to go try acid, because I was like, dude, these fucking mushrooms didn't work.
You must have got some.
No, dude, they worked.
I did a
They
couple.
worked for the other person.
I did a couple days worth,
But I
Yeah.
actually
like 2 full days worth.
yeah. So like, I mean, why?
No, I'm just like no, because it's like it's sent me before. Like I don't even like I know it's getting.
I can't wait to do it. Like I can't wait to actually have a good
because
experience.
it's like
with
I know
shrooms.
the more I ate, it's like it made me like sick and stuff at first. Like for the beginning part, like getting into it made obviously you eat so much of that, it's a poison. Like your body's gonna want to reject it, but after it does,
I mean,
then I'd feel way better. But
yeah, the jury's still out for me because I don't know. Like I said, the first time it didn't work, and like the second time is probably imminent. Like it's probably gonna happen soon. So we'll see.
Good luck.
We'll see.
Let me know.
Yeah, I will. I will for sure. I'll message you while or during.
Yeah, for sure. Both.
But yeah, so like with the real ritualistic shit, Tommy, like what do you think these fucking people are gaining from sacrificing children? And like I said, I know it's hard to talk about, but it's like I said, it's for anybody listening. Like I'm trying to understand it myself. Like I'm trying to understand why these people, like, not even just that. I get the control. I get the
the whole animal. Like it's almost easier to understand it in the whole animal way than it really is the ritual, because it doesn't make sense. Like if you're working with magic of this sort and you understand that there are cosmic forces like that happening, why would you choose the one that is going to end up fucking you in the way long run just to experience, the pleasures of the flesh? I guess to their ultimate like fucking.
But they're also not telling us stuff. Like, so there's also an element to this that we don't know what's going on. Like, so, like, obviously they're doing it, right? It's happening.
It's keeping, even after their death, it's keeping their bloodlines, like, secure and stuff, you know what I mean? And, like, all their families and stuff in power. But it's like, do you believe in the Force? You know what I mean? It's like, that whole, like, you can only push so hard and swing the forces and the pendulum so far in one direction that eventually it has to swing back.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and that's why it's like, I don't understand what their end game really is either, Edwin, because the end game to this is ultimately failure. You know, the Palpatine run, even though Disney did a serious disjustice, and, you know, fucking, I'm just sour about that. So Disney altogether can go fuck themselves.
Go
but it's like,
fuck off, dude.
The Rise of Skywalker was just terrible.
Well, Disney's a whole nother aspect of this.
but
still,
Disney's
Palpatine,
so huge now, though. It's like there's different factions or whatever. I mean,
Disney's has played a big role in fucking trafficking, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
well,
allegedly,
underground tunnels at both of them, and Walt spent most of his time underground. I mean, that's admitted. He was reclusive.
Like, he put it there
but
specifically
there's tunnels
to
supposedly
the island, the Pacific Island.
Well, there's that Club 33 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and it's like a super elite club, dude, that you have to like pay.
It's like a 10-year waiting list or something crazy.
Yeah, it's something fucking insane, dude. I don't understand because there is a theory that like all of these people were like there was a lot of kidnappings at
Disney,
Disney
the parks. Well, yeah,
and they were training like what was it? Like kids would walk up, put their their hand in like some dude's hand and be like, "Are you my daddy?"
Right.
And they would just, there you go, later. Fucking crazy. But that's part of the world we live in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the long run is, though. Like, why they would keep, like, trying to harness this, like, negative energy that has gotten them longevity in the physical. But
now, do you think...
over this planet, over this one part of the realm, I don't know.
Now, do you think it's reptilians?
I think it's like...
it's reptilians,
either it is, but it's like, I do believe in the reptile brain. You know what I mean? That, like, even if there isn't an actual reptilian race, it's definitely these dudes acting on that snake-like, you know, consciousness that they see the long run. They see the scales of time and how they weigh themselves. They're still going for that blood. Like,
yeah, well, it's the fear. It's the panic. It's the all these, like you said, kind of the negative energies. That's always been the thought process, is that these reptilians who were in control fed off of that shit. Like the sacrifice, the fucking bloodletting, what the fuck is spirit cooking? Like the Maria Abramovich shit.
Right, well, because
like,
as above, so below. Every, like, one of those actions that you take, especially because up front, that little, like, gesture sometimes isn't that, like, meaningful, but when you take the symbolism into it, because to anybody, to, like, an outsider, say, like, an alien that doesn't bleed or some shit, you know, you see, like, one of us cutting a wrist or something, they don't know what that means to us, but the fact to us, that's someone taking their life, or an image like that, you know, it holds much more weight. So I don't know, to put that out there,
right,
for us, that bloodletting, like you said.
I'm listening.
Yeah. It's like that bloodletting, like you said, though. Like stuff like that, as us to humans see that, like the destruction of a child's, like, innocence, you know, stuff like that.
Well, that's and that's what they say they feed off of. So now, like,
it gives that energy because it's like taking from our mental energy, because that's that next tier of, like, you know, existence.
Absolutely, it's ascension.
Is
for sure.
that mental realm?
Absolutely, but like places like Bohemian Grove, where whether or not they're real sacrifices, which I'm sure they were, or there.
Well, I mean, the main ceremony there, cremation of care, is supposedly sacrificing a child to Moloch.
The fucking giant owl, fucking,
which is
on the
biblical. Where
stuff,
Moloch is Moloch is who you would sacrifice babies to.
Yeah,
fucking weird.
These well, of course it's weird, but like these power, Tommy, you want that? These power elite people, like, these are where they go hang out. This is where they go and chill, man.
No, actors, I mean, Morgan Freeman's been there. The Grateful Dead played there. I mean, they admitted to playing there, but, I mean, San Francisco, the Redwoods. And that's some of the most beautiful countries, I guess, there is anywhere.
I mean, but how many of them do you think were invited there just to play or something? Or like,
well, I think it's a 2-week. Yeah, it's a 2-week encampment, and I mean, I don't know how many camps are there. I used to know all this shit.
Oh, so you're locked in for 2 weeks?
I don't think you're necessarily locked in, but I know that, like, they have the main ceremonies and some main things, and the cremation of care is the main one.
Wow.
And
Well, I know what the cremation of Carrie is.
That's
That's
probably
where
why they made
That's the one that Alex Jones got on tape.
Yeah.
the redwoods into the national park and have it as tight as they do, so people can't even wander off. Into
But the
like,
Bohemian
other
Club's a private club.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
but
crazy, right?
that's why they made it into a park.
Oh, gotcha.
So
yeah.
that like it can traffic people right through it to the areas they want them to see and to totally avoid it. Oh, you can't even go there. The trees are so sacred. Don't step over that way. Just I mean,
because like the office and the headquarters of Bohemian Grove, I believe, is in like downtown San Francisco.
No shit.
Yeah, there's an actual building with like a
really?
owl and stuff on the outside. Yeah.
No fucking way.
Oh yeah. There's actual Bohemian Club. It's
the
Bohemian Club.
I didn't know that at all.
There's actually cool stuff out there. If you like go on eBay, you can find plays and like things like that.
Damn,
that were there because they do plays and stuff all week. Real weird shit though, and then
it's ritual.
you can look up some pictures that were released and admitted from Bohemian Grove. Somebody I believe bought some old not yearbooks or whatever they put out, and they were literally like doing mock sacrifices, but they had real humans that were
pretending
playing that.
Yeah,
it's how they
and they all
get
dressed
down
as
back in the day. Before there was any music,
no women,
like that,
no women allowed.
No electronics, at least to play music. Like they'd just be dancing around campfires, fucking.
Well, it's just I don't know. I mean, you
you
mentioned Alex Jones these days, and it's like, phew. But I mean, if you're gonna believe the stuff in the video that he got from in there, I mean, those people like during the cremation of Carrie, that was weird. They were cackling like, you know what I mean? They weren't just like there watching a play. They were into it.
I should.
They were so into it, like cackling, and like it wasn't them sitting there watching an innocent play. It just wasn't. And who knows what it is? I mean,
they're like hooting and hollering and.
I mean, yeah, they're like, kill this, fucking throw this baby to Moloch, motherfucker, burn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's supposedly was in effigy, but I mean, come on.
At the same time, I mean, you get these. I just don't like I said. Do you get them there and you compromise them, or is it just like, this is my goal to get to the Bohemian Club, or what I mean?
Or it's just like, hey,
like if
this is what I wanted to my whole life. Like I can't wait to go fuck kids.
Well,
and,
I said,
naked around a fire.
It's not even just that. They talk politics there. They do all that stuff. I mean, like I said, you can look it up. I believe it was Ronald Reagan and Gerald Ford and Glenn Seaborg, and I think Glenn Seaborg was the first person to split the atom or whatever.
You know what I want to do? I just split the atom. You know what I do? I want to go touch a kid.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the picture necessarily has anything to do with pedophilia, but I just split the atom. Let's fucking drop a bomb.
Right. So all right. So
let's do it. How can we kill people with this?
Right. Well, real quick,
maximize death.
Now that we're because obviously we're into the episode. Like, what are your honest thoughts on Pizzagate? So for like anybody out there, obviously, like there's been a lot. Like the hashtags have been fucking flagged.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
It's the censorship has been at an all-time high, and we got around into this evidence of like the shit that we can prove, like these WikiLeaks, these emails, the Podesta emails. They're all written in code. The pizza, the fucking handkerchiefs, the fucking.
Have you seen the most recent thing though? Was like where everybody's
fucking cocksuckers.
The menu,
house,
the menus at Maria Abramovich's Spirit Cookings with pizza and hot dogs and walnuts and
Lady Gaga.
And now the people that are actually looking into this though, there's this huge debate now between which hashtag to use. It's like if you save the children, that's going to link you to the Gates Foundation or this or QAnon, or if you do save the children or save our children. It's like what? It's like why is this a thing? Why are people like
because a hashtag makes people feel like they're actually doing something,
but still all it is just a way to look up something that people do. It's like it just links like the topic.
I don't know if I've ever clicked on a hashtag unless it was like
making love to it. Really,
no, I could tell. You do if you push it all the way back in there. There you go. You hear it. You kind of hear it. Feels. It sounds weird, dude. Can you feel me? Can't feel you.
Push it right back.
I think I'm here.
Yeah. All right.
I hope.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I might have to sit up a little bit more.
We'll see, dude. You can move that thing too. Like that thing adjusts.
I think we're all right.
Like this thing right here. You can adjust it too. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it loosens way up when I do it.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I'm trying.
All right. It's all good. My bad. I must.
We'll work on it.
Yeah, for real. But so like that's the type of shit I'm talking about. Is like the Maria Abramovich. Like these people go to these parties and these spirit cookings. And like what exactly have they ever found out what exactly a spirit cooking was? Like they've had to address it by now, right? Like what a spirit cooking was.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure everything that Abramovich is it's art. They claim it's art, and it's a ritual, basically. I mean, for lack of a better word, it's a ritual that Maria Abramovich invented, and I don't know exactly all the ritual, but I know they do different spirit cooks, and you can, I mean, everybody goes to them as far as like Hollywood, like Will Ferrell and Pam Anderson, and like all ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you, I think before about the one, and there's a bunch of pictures of it. One, the menu was all. I mean, it's nothing that went together. Especially when you look at all the people who were there, like Will Ferrell, elite people, and the menu is like a few walnuts, small slice of pizza, walnut sauce on the. I mean, it's just fucking weird. Like
$10,000.
Yeah, and those are all like code words for pedophilia, according to the FBI.
Or like
that they used them in cases against people.
So at each table, I just want to at each table at this one that like Will Ferrell and Lady Gaga, there's a picture of her like jabbing a knife. So they have somebody under the table with their head through the table, and then they have the cake a cake in the shape of their body from the neck down, and it's red velvet cake, and they're going up and slicing it, and they're not just like cutting little pieces, they're going up and mutilating it like it's a human body, but it's a human head with a cake. And there's a bunch of them. There's like 5 or 6 of them, and they have these dead faces, so they're like models or something that they pay to do it because they can just keep this straight dead face the whole time. And I'll pull up a couple pictures. I mean, obviously, just for your guys' sake, but there's nothing visual about a podcast.
Well, yeah, dude. Eventually I want to get to that point. I got to get a studio, and then I'll get to the video shit.
True.
You know what I mean?
But then that wouldn't.
Yeah, for real, dude. So.
It's because we love you, Joe Rogan. It's not because we want to rip you.
Yeah, I know, dude. Nah, dude, I can't front. I watch a lot of it.
We'll stay more honest and more underground just for you.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's a selfie of Gwen Stefani. I just put in spirit cooking.
Is that real though?
Oh yeah, definitely. No, this is exactly from the party I was talking about.
All right.
They're all wearing white. It's exactly from the part. This is the exact one I was talking about. I'm sure I can find. It's been so long. I'm sure I can find the exact site. See, here's another one. Same party, stabbing into the chest. I don't know who that is. That's like Debbie Gibson. I don't even know who the fuck it is.
Dude, I'm assuming everybody that's ever been on Jeffrey Epstein's flight.
And that looks like Demi Moore in the front videotaping with her camera, and just like they can't.
Did you see the other? Did you see Chrissy Teigen's other tweets that they found? They found a whole bunch more of Chrissy Teigen's tweets.
Really?
Yeah. Dude,
here's Lady Gaga.
Weird shit. Some real crazy weird shit.
I don't remember that guy's name, but he's like a billionaire businessman, and look at this. That's some art, huh? I'm gonna stop looking at pictures.
This is what I mean.
I mean, that's Abramovich.
I mean, it's pretty sadistic.
Yeah, that's allegedly art.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's not Halloween or something, right? I'm not like missing some information.
No,
like,
this
some
is
kind of theme party.
So you don't know who Maria
Well,
Abramovich
is? She says that like part of one of her rituals is you cut right here.
Is she like
cut
like
deeply into the middle finger of your left hand.
Isn't she tied to the Church of Satanism? Or not necessarily
Satanists
tied,
are like
but
atheists.
No.
Hugh
like
Jackman.
They're talking about Satanism, bro. Like with her.
Luciferianism.
Well,
because Satanism is more like I'm saying, like they're atheists. They're strongly.
She's allegedly
Satanism, like what the general public thinks of Satanism.
Right. Yeah,
red guy with horns and a tail and shit.
Yeah.
that evil, you know what I mean?
Well,
not like you're thinking, like where you're, you know what I mean? Like I know we know where you're going with it, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the general public thinks about Satan. That's what you mean, right?
Yeah. Well,
like when you think of Satanism, cult,
like,
fucking.
This is
the pentagram, burn the candles, motherfucker.
This is the problem with the internet, though, is because most clickbait articles are going to be like, "Oh yeah, Maria Abramovich, Satanist." John Podesta. But no, it's a different.
Walnuts.
It's like you said. They're manifesting some type of energy. Like they're trying to manifest some sort of energy, dude. And this chick, she's fucked with all of them, dude. She's fucked with Podesta. She's had fucking all these celebrities there. Hillary Clinton. Yeah, all
I
of them.
don't know if Hillary's been to a spirit cooking, but I know that I'm
Well,
pretty
it
sure
was in
that
somebody's
the
emails.
Well,
Who's I can't remember.
I don't remember, but I know that there's a tie as far as either the Clintons paid her to do like some art display. There's the tie to the Clintons and Abramovich. That's like the main one, and then of course Podesta. I mean, he's linked at the hip with the Clintons.
Right. So now getting with Podesta. With that being said, the Pizzagate shit. So like, obviously we've kind of discussed it in person before. We haven't really addressed it too far on the podcast. I know a couple of episodes we kind of touched on it, but with like Chap, like we were saying earlier,
the Podesta emails and Chester Bennington, like what about all that? Like him potentially being
Dude, like the Pizzagate.
How crazy? Do you guys really believe that? Like,
well,
because
like I don't know about him being actually related.
Because I don't know.
But him actually,
no
like
idea.
him and and
If
Paul Walker
I
and them like actually advocating
for
like child trafficking and stuff like that. Like trying to like.
I mean, I guess I believe it as much as I believe anything else.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like
kind of have to.
There's a half truth.
It wouldn't surprise. It wouldn't.
I know mad dudes
me.
that look like people. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it wouldn't.
Like,
there's like
there's
like
certain
8 different
pictures,
prototypes of people. You know what I mean?
There's certain
8 different looks or whatever.
Yeah,
but I mean, a DNA test could prove it and it wouldn't surprise me, or it could disprove it and it wouldn't surprise me. Like, it literally is that.
It's fun to talk about.
It's
fun to think about. Like, but at the same time, it's this dude.
Here's Maria
Chris
Abramovich,
Cornell, Anthony Bourdain,
and Jay-Z giving each other a little smooch.
Who is it?
Maria Abramovich and Jay-Z about to give.
They
each other
did some weirdo
smooch.
ritual, dude.
And he's also been seen wearing Crowley shirts before.
I mean, we all know, like he knows he sold himself to just to make money.
To be where he's
That's why
at,
him and
dude.
Beyonce are like this.
Oh my God.
It's like,
they're the heads of the Illuminati.
Think so?
No, my daughter was watching this crazy YouTube conspiracy video.
That's awesome.
We were watching it together last
I'm
night,
gonna have
actually.
to ask her now.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's like, and the guy doing it, he was like, "Hey, actually, the guy doing it just got kicked off YouTube like a month ago for being like promoting pedophilia, which was why I didn't really. It was creepy.
All right,
Shane
so
Dawson or something.
With
But
that
anyway,
being said,
he said that.
promoting.
He showed Jay-Z and Beyonce, and he goes, "They're the head of the Illuminati." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they are.
now, do you guys think that there's any weight to the emails? Do you think that
For sure. Well,
with Podesta? Now that's now.
their silence speaks volumes to me. Podesta.
Oh,
and then you look
absolutely.
at the art and stuff they had in there. Oh my God.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to was the art.
It
like,
speaks to me
was,
the
the
same
art
way
that,
that
like, Epstein
Wayfarer's
had.
response talks about their cabinets and the prices and all that and the names.
Well,
and stuff,
I see. I
you know
wanted
what
to touch on
It's
that
like-
too.
See, and then I mean,
Yeah,
just look at the
it's
picture of
like-
them eating the body. It's like that's devilish. It's
Oh,
not. It's not having
I wish I-
fun.
yeah,
It's a
see?
ceremony.
I can't wait to get into a studio.
It's ritual. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's-
absolutely.
That's not
Even
Lady
if some of
Gaga.
the-
Like, hey, look
even
at
if
it.
some
Like,
of the people there might not even be aware of it, though, you know what I mean? They might think it's just something seriously artsy and edgy or whatever. And like,
oh yeah,
I know plenty of
Yeah,
kids
definitely.
like that. You know what I mean?
I think
agree.
a lot of the times they don't think a lot of these pictures are going to get out. You know, so it's like they take these pictures and then, yeah, for sure they're for show. Well, she's been criticized a lot. You know what I mean? For her
well, yeah, you
spirit-
haven't
spirit
heard
shit.
too much about her since this whole thing went down.
Excuse
You know,
me. Either way, like I mean,
They
everybody's
gotta
running for
hide
the
their
hills.
sorceress, you know what I mean?
Well, everybody's
they gotta
running-
keep her safe.
Dude, everybody's running from the hills or running for the hills. Excuse me. The
do what thou wilt.
it's just like I was saying about Jesseline Maxwell's like assistant there. Like she fled the UK because they're talking about trying to rope her up to get her. You know what I
But
mean?
like I said, yeah, any of that that's like let go right now is like it's just for show. It's just all they're all just cutting off their own fat. Just I always think about it's like the opening to the
but
third
does
Batman
Hollywood
movie.
admit that? Does Hollywood say, all right, you know what, we fucking give you Tom Hanks, and your boy Tom Hanks is a pedophile, but not the rest of Hollywood?
Well, yes, because people are dumb enough to believe them, and it's like that there's good still left in our politicians, and you know what I mean. But it's like, tell me I'm wrong, dude. That's 80% at least. It's like, and
No, you're right.
that might be like wishful
You're right.
thinking that it's not more like that think that way. That it's like, yeah, it's like the government's still not bad. There's good people. The FBI is good. It's like Trump sucks, but he's trying to go after them now. Like whatever they gotta think. It's like it's all crazy. Like. But I do believe that it's just a
Podesta
show.
was Hillary.
It's all a show.
Yeah,
Podesta was
for
Hillary's campaign manager, Bill's Bill Clinton's chief of
And
staff,
Obama's.
Like, what are we
advisor to Obama, and he was going to be chief of staff for Hillary if she was elected.
Why are we
See
still
what I
in the
mean?
Middle East right now?
So now these dudes, like, how do these people tie?
Well, I
themselves
believe
with
that that's
this?
a spiritual thing. Why we're in the Middle East?
Yes,
That's
thank you.
that's
The
Mesopotamia.
Zionism.
That well, yeah, and it's like
There's a-
that's the
there's a
cradle
lot
of
to that.
civilization. That that's
It's straight Zionism. It's like all day. It's
There's
like
a lot.
fortifying the state of Israel in there after World War II.
I think
It's
there's
like,
still
was
a lot
move.
going on over there, though, dude. Like,
Like,
not
and
even
it's
just
all-
with Israel.
well, it's like
I mean,
we're
It's the same players though.
We're
you know?
talking about ritual, and we're talking about
Exactly.
this group of people. What do they like? And I mean, look at their
The
art.
Holy
Look
Land.
at the
It's all
well, and
about
I mean, look at the
Jerusalem.
art we're talking about that they have, and the spirit cooking that they call art. What better ritual if you are, with quotes up, satanic, or if you are, if you feed off of that, if that gives you power, you're bombing and killing people daily.
Blood ritual.
Yeah, you're bloodletting right there every day on a
Right.
mass
Like
scale.
they
Yeah.
said,
Mass
like
scale.
9/11. The
So
numerology
is
behind
that-
it and everything.
And you're
like, was
spilling
set
the
up
blood
to be
there
like a
on that
ritual.
on that exact same
Like,
land.
and they choose certain dates and stuff
Oh, yeah.
specifically just because of the numerological value behind it.
Oh,
and stuff
absolutely.
like
Well,
that,
there
you
was
know what I mean?
no, there was no coincidence that, like, if we did happen to go to the moon, that like all of the shit was timed perfectly. Like there was, and it had a lot to do with Freemasonry. A lot of the numbers lined up, but
That's the dude who they
Freemasonry.
found dead on 66.
and
That's
this
the
set of
last.
spirit cooking?
That's the last photo. I can't find his name, but I found the picture.
All right. So for anybody,
Well,
for anybody listening,
that's the
this
last
is-
photo of
this
him ever.
is-
He looks like he's having a
this
good
is
time, huh?
Maria Abramovich pictured with a guy that came
And
up
that's
missing.
Lady Gaga.
And they had, and this is so this is a real person.
Yeah, that's a real person.
They got his shit blurred out.
Yeah, they got his dick
Yeah,
blurred out.
well, I mean, it's like you think like what's his name?
He looks like he's having fun though, right?
The guy in the tree, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's scared at all.
Is it Keenan Peele there that did like Get Out? You know what I mean? It's like
Oh
Key
yeah, yeah,
did, right? Or-
yeah.
It's like how far out do you think that was?
You know what? I haven't
You
seen
know
it.
what I
Well,
mean?
look at that.
You haven't? Oh
No.
my
Well, look at that.
God.
I haven't
Like,
seen this.
it's like total mental control of like using like black people as like basically like inserting their brains into black people to like help them live longer and stuff.
No
like
way,
that.
Oh
Really?
yeah, that movie was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, like
What
yeah,
the
in this
fuck?
little white
Dude, it was
town, like they were
crazy.
all in on it. All these old white people were all in on it, and they were like using like these like young black people as
Stealing
like
a brain to-
vessels. Like,
yeah.
yeah, dude,
Almost
it was
like,
nuts, bro.
yeah. Almost like an adrenochrome.
But it's like
type
did
thing,
you
but
see?
it wasn't. They weren't doing the blood, but they were. Getting that
Yeah.
type of power.
Yeah,
What the fuck? I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it
Well,
was
I
like, and it's like the old fashioned Southern racist shit too. Like, the dude
Like
shows
in
up like, "Hey,
Louisiana."
he's got good bones or some shit.
like
I don't
they
know.
were
Oh,
talking.
shit.
I just saw like they were talking about in Louisiana where like they fucking all the prisoners that they have, especially the black ones, are all like doing either chain gangs or they're inside like Capitol buildings or the governor's house, like doing maid work and stuff like that for cents on the hour. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
and
So it's the same as it's always
Well, it's
been.
what we've been talking about, even going back to this Black Lives Matter. It's all coinciding, like all these issues in the one big snowball that, like,
Oh, yeah.
because it's the same fucked up, like white, like power control trip thing going on, like the same states that allow, like we were talking about before we went on with
The
where
marriage
all
laws.
the state, yeah, exactly, the marriage laws and how young like consent can be in certain states.
For
And-
anybody listening, also,
Yeah.
Tommy is talking about these fucking states. There's states that these kids can get married at 12, 14, 13.
Yeah, like there's states
Still.
where the age
Well,
where you can
14,
get married.
15, like, in
But there's
16
states,
for
yeah, you
sure.
could get married. I think where younger than the age of consent.
Yeah, like
Which
14,
that
15,
doesn't make much
16,
sense,
yeah,
but
no.
you know what I mean. Like,
Because you're not having, intercourse, I guess, but at that age.
Let me
That's
see
a
here.
loophole, at
'Cause
least.
you know what's funny is
You
I
get a
still-
couple years to train them first, I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
you know
who
what I
knows?
mean? It's like, but it's messed up. But either way, it's like, but it's still like the way some people think, and it's like, it's in their government, it's in their laws,
Right.
and we allow it to continue still.
Well, yeah. Well, UNICEF was saying that there's an astronomical number of like child or forced marriages like in the world still to today, like millions,
Absolutely.
like millions, dude. Especially in like fucking Mike, grab that. Look at you, you're fucking stoned as shit.
Yeah,
Come on, guy,
I
get it
think
together.
that's consensual and mutual.
Get it together, guy. First fucking episode, you're already slacking. Shit. But No, but so like, what do we do as fucking obviously the citizens here, and like, what do we do to fucking get rid of all this shit? Like, how does this like realistically have? Like, how do we realistically
exposing them? Hopefully,
Yeah, but
and
like,
not.
but what power do we have? And I agree wholeheartedly. But what power do we have over these fucking?
I mean, you can cut this out if you want, but it's
Power
like
league.
I just want to win the lotto, and then like we form our own little like
Cut this out.
like militia or something like
Not cutting
like
anything
something.
out, dude.
But you know what I mean? It's like just train, like do something, like you could do a lot with a well trained like squad of like 12 to 20 people. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
for sure. But like people should be
A lot in
like
terms
a
of what?
platoon, like just it's something like just something that.
Well, no, it's like
you
I'm
know,
not
hold
ready.
your own
I'm not
city.
ready to go on some vigilante shit.
I am,
because I mean,
don't
like
have kids,
I've
but,
seen,
like
I see fucking
it's gotten
like.
to that
But
point.
no, that's my
like,
point. And I said it to a couple people today, because I keep seeing everybody now. It's like, everybody's a badass, and it's like, oh, fucking it's cheap to get rid of a pedophile. A bullet costs 50 cents or
I
whatever.
see that on Facebook.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, dude, there is a database of pedophiles out there. There's one probably on your block.
right.
Go to the sexual offender registry, look it up, and you'll find some disgusting shit.
But you gotta
right
be
in your
organized.
neighborhood.
You gotta be able to.
Well, no,
go
I'm just
after,
saying, like everybody's about it.
oh, dude, there's so many.
That ain't gonna cure anything.
There's so many Facebook pedophile killers. Is what he's saying. Is like there's so many people that are talking shit on,
No,
on
absolutely.
the book.
But I feel like
dude,
it's
I'll go put a
well,
bullet in one.
Look someone
But
up and
that's
go
what
do
I'm saying.
it.
It's
Fucking
like
Paul Kersey.
Right.
Yeah, right.
But it's like I would
Fucking
rather have like if I had like
vigilante.
millions, you know what I mean, so you can get the actual like gear and
Or
yeah,
you
yeah,
could,
yeah.
or
and,
you could,
like,
or you could take the money and like
hire some operators, something.
No, just like spend that money to expose people more and more. Because look at how people are getting shut down right now, man. It's happening.
I still think like the shutdown though is still part of like it's,
No, I'm not
like,
even talking about COVID. I'm talking about in general. And
even with the pedophilia though, it's like them exposing people. and
Yeah,
stuff. It's still-
they're definitely throwing a bone.
All right,
but
so
you have to keep your foot on the throat.
this was my point though.
Keep the pressure on.
Is that okay? So we have called out Tom Hanks. We've called out all these people that have been on the flight logs. Like, nobody's addressing it. The only one that has actually said fucking anything is one was Courtney Love. She just said this. There was I don't know how Jeffrey Epstein got my number.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
don't
I
need
bet
to go into her background or her father's links to the CIA. and shit.
any of it,
Her father's definitely got some.
Yeah, dude, it's all
background in intelligence.
it's all power players. But then there was also who else said that fucking Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen's like, nah, I've never been on a fucking plane ever.
I've deleted 60,000 tweets.
Yo,
what are planes?
Who the fuck tweets 60,000 times?
but she has blocked like 1 million
for
users and has.
She got way too much time on her. She's got someone running that shit for her, I'm sure.
No, dude, you'd be surprised.
She's not sitting there on her phone blocking 1 million people.
No, she's using some sort of algorithm. She's
Somebody's
gotta
doing
have
that shit for
yeah,
her.
she's got to have somebody like censoring her shit on a larger scale. But in any event, it's like these old tweets are being dug up, and some of these are very disturbing tweets.
Yeah.
Like, they're super disturbing, and I can't obviously quote them right now.
I've seen a bunch of them.
me.
I know exactly what you're talking
But
about.
I don't even want to
Like,
look them up
like,
because you don't
nothing
know which ones
tastes
are real
better
and which
or
ones
looks
aren't.
sweeter than
What?
a little girl. Like, oh my
Oh, which
god!
ones are
Like,
real?
it's
Well, no, I
crazy,
said
dude.
I would look some of them up, but
Like, she's all about the shows like Tiara.
Well,
she's
the one-
so many have been erased. I don't know if what I would read off of what I find would be real or not, because
real or
I'm
not.
going to just find them
Well,
off of
just
image
the
search or
one
whatever.
though. Just the one. She said something about kids. Like, what was it?
Well, like the tiaras and whatever.
Yeah.
Like they're talking about the show and like
Yep.
seeing,
And that's
like
like her
little
show,
girls,
right?
like,
Yeah, it was her show. The tots, tiaras, and tots or something.
weird. Why would somebody like
Want to
want to
lock
get into
herself
that
up.
and like get little girls in pageants to begin with? Like that's a cool thing.
Dude,
You ever see
I
that-
seen one where it was like she said something about a
Beauty
little boy.
pageants for
they
like
added a
little girls
boy.
is fucking
Now it's eye
crazy.
candy.
Yeah,
It's all weird, dude.
Hey.
It's like I've never been down with beauty pageants, man. I think that shit is fuck weird.
Yeah.
Like wacko. Like you're fucking psycho.
Right?
Dude. Like,
And I mean,
what?
like, this is going to come off super misogynistic and whatever, because I just admitted I don't like them and don't watch beauty pageants, but the average person watching a beauty pageant is just, they don't want to hear questions, they don't want to hear anything, they're like just there for the bikini round, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Right or wrong, like, that's what people turn the fucking thing on, is like, to objectify the women in it, not because like, oh, how are you going to save the world if you become Miss America? They
Right.
don't fucking give a fuck what you're going to say. the viewer.
Yeah, well,
It's like it's objectifying women, but it's also giving this false sense of like independence.
right, and a lot of
They're
those
strong because
those fucking
their will
pageants
to
were
be
ran
up there
by
on
old
stage.
Donnie Trump.
Oh yeah, well he
Yeah.
bought it
Weird.
for a while. or
Okay,
whatever.
there we go.
He bought it.
I mean,
Dude,
It was out
he's-
long before Trump. Though.
He
You
said
gotta
some
say
weird shit too.
Well, no,
because
there were
I'm sure
there were
he bought
girls
it for
that-
the right intentions. Too.
There were no, I'm just saying like it's
Yeah.
there was weird stuff going on before Trump. We can't just link that to Trump, Miss Universe, or but there are women that were just like he would just walk in the back, and I think he even admitted it. Where there's quotes of him where it's just like, yeah, I won the pageant, I can go backstage and I walk around.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
like
he's
mother
fucked up
changing
too.
and
It's
shit.
like
Yeah.
I'm like I was being
But the
sarcastic,
child
but I'm
beauty
his
pageants, like the
intentions
John Benet Ramsey type stuff, those are like real sick.
Oh,
God.
dude, that whole story too, man. Everybody just fucking forgot about John Bonet too. Like, that's fucking intense too, bro.
Yeah, I think they're all dead now. Though. The brother's probably still alive, but the mom
I
and
don't
dad are
know.
both.
I haven't
both died.
checked in on it in a long time. I'm gonna have to.
Didn't
now,
the mother? I think the father died first, or vice versa.
father
but
committed suicide, right?
one of the parents died first, and the other parent, like I think, married Natalie Holloway or someone's parent.
Who's that?
Natalie Holloway is like another. She was like 18, 19 or something. She went missing on a cruise in the
No way.
Bahamas or something. Never found the murder, I don't think. But it
They
may not
met
even
on
have been
Missing
Natalie
Kids.
Holloway, so I may sound like an idiot. But
Missing kids mingle.
they definitely, like, it was that weird where John Benet Ramsey's, one of her parents, after the other one died, married someone else. And I believe it was Natalie Holloway.
Wow. You think they met through like advocacy groups or some
Christian
shit like
mingle. Like you
That's
said.
what I said.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what I mean. Like
What's
missing
the-
kids
Yeah,
mingle.
dude,
Yeah.
like,
That's
hey,
insane.
we both had a bloodletting. Let's get married.
Yeah.
Get
So
together.
do you guys think fucking they were shipping kids in cabinets?
No,
No.
I think it might have definitely been a front for like just trafficking, like, or laundering money. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't think Wayfair was doing legit.
You're definitely
things.
not shipping a kid in a cabinet.
No, absolutely not.
You will get.
Well, you know what I mean.
It's like-
No, I know. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
it was
for
a
the
figure,
for the
yeah.
people listening.
There's
right?
a figure.
No
I
way.
definitely think
No,
there was. I think.
No, I've seen it online
I
where
think
people are like,
Wayfair
"Oh,
was-
yeah, the kids
Yeah.
last in the cabinet." No, dude.
That's just what
Stupid.
they're using to just
Not
disingenuine
put food and
like
water in there.
the original like thing that like it's people that think that it's like that's not. They're meant to think that because
Exactly, and there are real.
because it sounds unrealistic, but just thinking that it's like we're going to use Wayfair because we have an in at someone has an in at Wayfair,
and who buys shit off Wayfair?
exactly. It's like
Get
I
that
do
shit in
that.
the mail. You just throw it away.
I never
instantly.
even heard about them really until
yeah,
this
me
shit. You know
either.
what I mean? So it's like
I didn't.
So
They
That's
send
just-
flyers
but-
out, but they send flyers out all the time to every house.
Wow.
Third class mail.
right.
I've
You
never
guys
heard
just
of
don't
fucking
notice
Wayfair.
because it comes in the junk mail, and you just throw that shit away before you even look at it.
Right.
Yeah,
so
most
Guarantee
it's
you
a
guys
great
have got
front.
them at your house
It's
before.
a
Guarantee.
It's a front.
It's
you know what I mean? It's a great front.
They send
that
them to
found.
everybody.
But it's like, but it's a selection process. So now it's like that is their menu. It's like they already know what. It's like somehow in some written like little stub letter sent in from a pigeon fucking somewhere. You know what I mean? Like whatever that pigeon may be, but told them like that. Use Wayfair. Like look at cabinets.
Oh,
you
dude,
know
don't
what
get it
I
fucked
mean?
up.
Like,
I can understand the network
like,
because
yeah,
even these
But for people who
but for
don't, you know
these
what I mean? I'm
scumbags
just saying for people who
operate
don't, how
on
they
the dark
would do
web,
this.
bro. Like
yeah,
there's-
exactly.
they have their networks. Don't get it fucked up. These scumbags have their networks. They have their
Right.
symbolisms too. They were like, what were they saying that like Chap was saying with the fucking code words? You know, like
that triggers the altars.
Right.
pizza, cheese pizza, all of this other shit, dude. They have literally sentenced people to fuck prison time using this terminology. And these same people were using it. Who was the guy that owned the pizza shop, dude, with his fucked
James
up
Elephantis.
his fucking
Elephantis.
his
Comet Ping
Instagram
Pong.
account
Yeah,
was
there's some sick shit on there.
fucking disgusting,
Right.
bro. And he owned the pizza shop, whatever, and then it was obviously all linked to
Comet
fucking
Ping Pong.
that's what it was, Comet Ping Pong.
And
Right.
he was in the Podesta emails. That's what led people to start searching on his shit.
Right, and it's like, but
And I remember going through his Instagram, like seeing it, and I'm like, "Holy fuck!" Like sending shit back and forth with Prusso, with
right.
Sean.
So now,
Boom, boom,
because
boom.
it's like, think about it. It's
Like,
still
holy
these, it's still
fuck,
these
little
boomers
girl
and stuff doing it. So
taped
it's
to
like
the table.
they
No
need-
big deal.
Yeah.
they needed to
Oh,
find.
that was my friend's daughter. We were joking. Really? And then the comments are all just like,
There was some
right,
weird,
or, you know, like,
there was some other
yeah,
weird
good
shit.
one, yeah.
You know, they were third-party vendors, though, and it's like, and because they used to use emails and stuff like that, obviously, if we're going to say, like the Podesta emails and all that stuff, but now they learned that they can't.
But even in the emails, they were very well coded. It's just like, we're living...
So let's hide them in plain sight, though.
Exactly.
Like, the more you can hide it in plain sight, you don't need to put it on the dark web or anything like that.
Well, the best way to hide a lie is between two truths.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, but and Wayfair's response, all they did was like, "Oh, sorry about the names," like, and they changed the names on the cabinets, and all of a sudden, all the prices like changed and stuff with them and everything else, and like they never denied the names or anything like that or the prices.
I still bring it up because I've only seen it once.
There was pillows and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too,
$9,000
like Ellen DeGeneres pillows.
Yeah, hers was like a $9,000.
And the dude that like watched the price like change over like a course of like 2 hours, like they went from like two
and
the
pillow
to, like,
and
60.
the pillow had like that fish emblem that Podesta had drawn on his hand in that one picture.
Yeah, some crazy shit, dude.
Holy shit. Well, it's funny with Ellen DeGeneres shit, having her fucking set looking like Epstein Island.
Yeah. she's
hidden in plain sight, dude.
Her
the more they can
empire's
do that,
crumbling right now.
like that's more ritual magic.
Took Kevin Hart to come out for her. Like
finally,
somebody is like sticking up for Ellen.
Yeah, there's been a couple. There's been a couple.
Yeah,
people,
a couple
dude,
people. But Kevin Hart was the first, and it took weeks and weeks.
Well, dude, he's.
I hate like the meme culture and shit.
That's
but
tricky.
Tell me you saw that meme where it goes. Like something about COVID, and it just says like, "Look what COVID did to Eminem," and it's got the picture.
Oh my god, it's the best. That shit is the best. It's Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh my god!
So if you think 2020 was bad, look what it did to Eminem.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like that. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Oh my god! Yeah,
it's so funny. Dude.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sometimes people knock them out of the park.
Yeah,
she's not looking great. She's definitely looking like she just hit
panic.
Yeah.
So, but now, do you think this is? Do you think they're getting ahead of it? So do you think like Ellen's team is like, oh shit, dude, this shit's about
I think people are jumping off the.
They're about to come. Hold on,
Ellen ship.
Well, what I'm saying is though is
specifically Ellen
a diversion because like, all right, so we'll say
Ellen's huge though. For her to like come down,
would you rather?
Big. It is.
Would you rather have her come down for some stupid fucking workplace bullshit, or would you have her rather come down?
Only more and more is gonna come.
Well,
or
for
less
sure.
and less if she's not in the public eye anymore.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Is
they
look
get
at
her
all
out of the public eye early.
Look at Jimmy
bullshit.
Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel says, "Yeah, I'm taking a break."
Yeah.
Now he's out of the public eye. He disappears. Christiella
just
disappears.
Stopped his podcast. Hasn't posted anything on it. He was like on Instagram every other day.
Tom Hanks
with videos.
disappeared.
Well, Tom Hanks is about to do a Disney movie.
Geppetto.
Play Geppetto.
Piece of shit. I've seen it. Well, I've seen like the preview or whatever.
Yeah, no, I just saw like the article.
Yeah, the dude wanting to like craft his own,
little boy, scumbag,
weird,
and
weird symbolism in
his
that,
own puppet, his own little puppet.
Fucking crazy, right? It's just nuts.
They throw it in your face on purpose.
Oh yeah,
about it. That's why they just.
But that's what I'm saying. So how do we? Yeah, but
exposure.
I mean, sure, exposure, but how does it ever stop?
I say it.
You dig what I'm saying?
It's like I'm like a broken record.
Who's protecting who?
Well, no, because how do we take them down realistically?
The vibrational frequency is changing right now.
Oh, absolutely, I agree.
We have all these seekers. This stuff wouldn't even be talked about even 10 years ago. Like the Epstein flight logs, they've been out since his first trial.
Yeah,
people are just like saying, "Whoa, Bill Clinton was on his plane." Yeah, fucking. Where like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, this shit was released when he was in his first trial. Right. And back then, it was like, "Oh yeah, okay, well yeah, no big deal." He wasn't at Orgy Island. Oh well, there were people that saw him there. No, he wasn't there. Now
he was there.
People have testified to it, and I don't know. Like
I hear you. It's
like, but now
I'll meet you at the middle and say like,
if you perjure yourself, they're gonna treat you like they did Paul Bonacci and Alicia Owen.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
so
what I'm saying is though is
how... if somebody testifies in court to that shit that I saw, or did she just say it in her book? I don't know.
No, she went to jail for it.
For saying no, I'm saying like
Alicia?
the recent things about Clinton being at Epstein Island. Is that from a book or is that from actual like court testimony?
I believe both.
Because if it's from actual court testimony, then that holds a lot of weight with me. Because these people are going to try to, if they can put you away for perjury or put you away for any of that stuff,
Dershowitz was named
they're
too.
Going to.
I'm almost positive he
rape somebody. You're getting out in 1 to 3.
I believe it's. I believe
sell some drugs
or 6 months if you're a young white kid.
Sell some drugs, and you're going away for 10 years. Perjury, you're going away for 12 years if you're like Paul Bonacci, you know.
Well, yeah, and perjury is fucking 1 year, dude. Here,
But I'm just saying, like,
I don't know
they
in a
catch
felony
you.
case or like I don't know how.
Alicia
it works,
Owens
but
went away
Depends
for a
on what
while.
kind of lawyer you got.
yeah, a paid lawyer. Get a paid lawyer.
Yeah.
Anybody out there, don't fuck with a public defender. Get a paid lawyer.
No, not unless it's
It
a traffic
works.
ticket.
How much
Nah.
longer are we going? Should I grab another drink? Or
Like I mean, we got about. I figure we go at quit at like 2 hours. It's 1:47 right now. Yeah, I'm just like I said.
It's tough to fully trust or distrust any information at this point.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest parts, probably. I would say. It's just,
Oh, for sure.
if we're gonna get into like a wrap up about all of it, then
I saw a
It's
quote
like,
one time. I think it said, "We're drowning in information, but starving for wisdom." And it is.
Oh, for
It's,
sure.
It's like we have.
that was
everything.
like an Einstein quote or something like that. It's like I think I've read that, but it was someone from like even 60 to 80 years ago. Like
Yeah,
it was writing
it's-
shit like that, And it's like now look, because they had books. They thought
Oh, yeah.
they thought they were on the verge of like
And you are like you go.
yeah.
You go to a big library. Oh my! Go to the library.
we got it all in our hands. We got a libraries on libraries
Dewey
in our
Decimal System?
hands, and like
Revolutionary.
we're dumb as shit.
Yeah. Well, I
Like,
mean,
we're-
I'm
and
old
un-
enough. I'm old
uninformed.
enough where I still got
most people
taught
are dumb
the
as
Dewey
shit.
Decimal
and
System.
because of technology, kids are getting pushed around faster than fucking ever. It's all like getting
It
pushed,
is
but,
and
like,
it isn't because like I have like my kids, one's 15 and one's 8, and like the generational difference is huge. Like, but at the same time, it's not because the distraction is still there. So like, all right, pandemic hits, everybody's got to do remote learning, right? Dude, as much as they're on electronics, they hated being on these fucking laptops.
Right. Yeah.
And then it was like as soon as they got off of the laptop, it was like, all right, right back to the tablet or
Yeah.
the YouTube
Same
or whatever. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
So like, it's kind of like a yin and a yang. They're kind of learning, but they're not. And then it's playtime. You're still getting drowned out by
It's tough.
technology.
Well,
Yeah.
I had this article up when we were talking about the Wayfarer thing because obviously there's a lot of speculation and just it was a real quick blip in the news cycle and social media news cycle. So
Nazi?
the Wayfarer thing.
Oh, okay.
So one thing I saw that I found real interesting and I couldn't find anything else on it. It may have just been like a made up Photoshop tweet, whatever, but this woman tweeted that she lived close to one of the Wayfarer distribution centers or warehouses. It was
the pictures with the trucks.
it was the address for the Wayfarer warehouse, one of their warehouses in Georgia, somewhere in Georgia. And she claims to Google mapped it or whatever and screenshotted the satellite pictures, and it was just all black tractor trailers that were black, without the rigs, obviously, just the trailers, and it was in this yard. And she was like, "I live close. Anybody want to come check this out with me?" And I never saw anything about it again, even like in all the wacky like conspiracy pages.
Really?
So, but with that aside, at the same time of the Wayfarer, I remember this story came out and it was like kind of buried, but a ship was coming in to the U.S. and they found 7. Well, this article says 7 torture chambers, but they were these shipping containers.
They were like,
and there's pictures of it. They were hollowed out, soundproof, everything. I mean, dental chairs in them. I could read the article to you, but if you just look up,
No, I remember seeing it.
Yeah, little portable,
Yeah.
it's like,
chambers.
okay, like that's just a microcosm of the macro. Like that's happening. That's not. You didn't catch a rogue. You didn't catch
Yeah.
a rogue person. Maybe you
How many
did.
how many did they find?
Well, this one
Does it
says
say?
that there were 7.
Dude, so that's way more than one.
7 shipping containers. I mean, but I mean,
Who
you
makes
look
that without a buyer, dude?
and you look at those cargo ships.
You could
7
just
shipping
push it
containers
off
is
the
nothing.
edge of the
Right.
the boat,
And how many
halfway in the
containers could
ocean,
they
and it's
possibly
all
hold on
gone.
there? Thousands. You know what I mean? There's
Absolutely.
thousands of containers.
How
on
many
there.
containers do you think?
Every
in the middle
cargo
of the
ship-
Pacific or the Atlantic
Oh,
Ocean,
dude,
you know what I
between
mean?
With
between
thousands.
cocaine and probably all that shit for
Or
sure.
just bodies.
Humans
like,
are
of dudes,
probably
like,
more money.
Oh my
these
God, yeah.
torture
Humans
chambers
gotta
that they
be
just
more than
push
coke.
off the edge of the boats. You know
What's
what I
that?
mean?
I said humans gotta be
Yeah.
more than coke.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because currency.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, they just
Oh,
got
dude,
rid
and
of
even
them.
that, yeah. Like just moving around, just immigrants and stuff like that, and then they get displaced, like the younger ones and kids and all that. Like 1,000 kids missing just from those detention centers and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was talking, like Boys Town, like they talk about in the Franklin cover of it, and Paul Bonacci talks about it. The Boys Town
It's like
group
a camp,
homes.
Yeah.
Like
Send
anywhere
kid
they
to a
can
group
traffic
home, the
kids,
lost
they
child,
will,
you know?
like, you know what I mean?
Well, we were speaking about it the other day, how like where we're at now, like in where we're at in New York, we have a huge junction here with I-90 and
So a shipping
80s
a shipping
and
container
87.
can hold 20,000. A cargo ship can hold over 20,000
People?
No, 20,000 of those trailers.
Oh, shit!
Oh,
20,000
shit.
trailers.
So I mean,
yeah,
if they
yeah,
found
cargo.
7,
well,
like
like
that's more than that's crazier than
well,
a needle
well,
in a haystack.
here's what I'm saying though, dude. Is
If
it's
a
like
ship that can hold 20,000.
Right.
Right
well,
there.
think about it
You
like this
lose
though:
one.
is you're
You
not
found 7.
you're not going to invest that money unless you have a buyer. Like so, there's
yeah.
7 buyers. There's 7
that already picked their cabinets,
or maybe say cartel or some dumb.
And were
shit
they really
that's
empty
fucking-
when you found them? Like were they really empty? Like
Well, that clean.
who's
The
shipping
picture
Who's
I
shipping
seen-
a fucking empty one?
The picture I seen was clean. Like they didn't
Yeah,
look like
yeah,
it had
but-
been used or whatever.
But why ship an empty one?
Well, because like you're
What-
just trying. I think so.
Yeah,
If I
just
had
so
to,
there's
if you're
something
gonna-
if I had to
track.
think
I'm just
about it
saying,
real quick,
We're at my house right now. If I'm gonna get a shipping, well, obviously we're not that isolated, but if I'm gonna get a shipping container torture chamber at my place, why wouldn't I just have it in the basement here
Well-
instead of having bringing attention to this external shipping container?
So I think you're thinking about it in the wrong sense.
That thing's
though.
made-
Think about it in a bigger organization, though. Say I'm the mafia, a cartel,
Yeah,
MS-13.
true. You put it in
Listen,
the
I
yard.
put that motherfucker in the backyard in LA.
Yeah, gotcha.
Dude,
What
you
about-
drag a motherfucker up in there,
True.
and the mob, no question, is going to strap you into one of them
Oh,
chairs
yeah,
and
dental
rip
chairs
your
or-
fucking teeth
True.
out.
or moving people in the trunk of cars. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Right,
like
right.
same
You
kind
dig
of
what I'm
deal,
saying?
Or moving drugs
So-
in
Or you
cars,
bring it
like-
here and you
I
throw it on a
think
train.
it's like-
and
it's
you
a front.
fucking-
Yeah, whatever.
It's
I
a
think the
front,
black
you know?
market, there's somebody that wants that.
Oh,
There's
hell yeah.
somebody for sure that wants that device, that fucking new thing that, and like I said, there's cartels, dude, that'll fucking, I don't think the cartels really want them because they just fucking do away with you and that's the end of it. But like the mob, dude, there's the other people too, man. Like even that fucking human hunting shit, like, ever seen
Dangerous
Hostel?
game.
Ugh.
That's
Yeah,
one.
oh yeah, yeah.
That's just one.
the
of many.
Saw,
Ugh.
the Saw movies.
You ever see
Saw
the
movies.
Didn't we
100?
talk about that before? Like
Nah.
all the things that happened in all the Saw movies, like as far as the torture and death, they were all based on something that has been invented throughout history. Some
I'm
torture
sure.
device.
Yeah.
None of them were made up by the writers. They were all real things that people created to
Yeah.
torture
Have,
another
have
human.
You, have you watched the Hunger Games?
No.
Yo,
I
I
know, I didn't
guarantee you.
either. He was like,
I
"Gotta
guarantee
watch
you that was actually like, for me, it was harder to watch than like any of those horror films because it's not just people getting killed by psychopaths. It's literally kids being forced to kill other kids for the entertainment of wealthy people.
What the fuck?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I never watched any of
It's hard to watch, like the first couple because
So
it's like
then
it's a battle royale. Like
and these are
kids
like
starting
things
in
that all
like
this was like a teen movie kind of,
yes,
right? Like,
it's like
promoted
they-
as that anyway.
yes, and
'Cause
like,
that's why when
and
it came
kids'
out, I was
books
like,
and stuff. Like,
yeah, I
getting
was like, the
kids
books-
ready to like fucking kill each other.
Right,
like,
yeah. That's why I kind of never watched it because I remember when they came
it's
out and they were
fucked
big.
up.
I was like,
it
this
was
is
hard
like
to watch.
I was just thinking it was like Twilight or
Like,
some teeny shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was a lot to it. Like people just getting iced in this. Like, but like the first, like you start out like just the first movie really introduces you into what the Hunger Games is. Then it's about deconstructing it and the society built around it. But it's basically like just this fascist government of these obviously higher up, landowner, business owners, whatever the hell they are, that wear all this goofy ass shit. That just this is where like the life of degeneracy just fucking gets you, I guess. Like into this kind of.
It,
It's
I've had a
crazy,
couple
bro.
people tell me
All right.
about it, and I was like,
It's like you think it's just a kids movie or something like that, but it's not. It's
well, you know how the trendy things come, like everybody fucking
Right,
follows
but
the trends. I'm just like,
but it didn't hold out that
Sons
long
of
either.
Anarchy. Never seen an episode.
Me,
Not
I
one.
watched a couple. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
that
say
great.
I saw some early on. I was like, see this.
There's only
Yeah,
three.
I know somebody who probably watched it.
I would give the Hunger Games a shot. To be honest, it's like it's kind of
I'll,
like some parts are kind of corny. Like you know what I mean? It's like especially
I'll
when
check it out.
But
it's all
it's-
movies. I can't. That's the reason I can't like quote movies and do all that. Because when I watch a movie, no matter how much I get into it, at some point my brain goes, "This is a fucking guy acting right now," and I can't not see through it. You know what I mean? I'm like watching it, and I'm like, "This is a dude pretending to be this. This is a woman pretending. It's just I don't know. I feel like I'm sitting in high school drama again or something. It bores me at a certain point. I can never watch like a movie that's 2 hours.
No,
not at one sitting. No way.
Really?
No way.
Oh, dude, I crush those movies. If I have the
Can't
time,
do it.
If I have the time and I'm in the mood,
I'm just,
like if I want to fucking.
Once I get like 45 minutes in, I'm just like, oh wait, this guy just sat there for 2 hours getting hair and makeup and reciting his lines and fucking yelled at somebody who brought on the wrong M&Ms. And
I'm not gonna let that ruin the whole movie.
Oh, it does. It does instantly, man.
I'll snap back at it.
There's no coming back.
I'll snap back out of it. I'll be like, okay, well, I'll still try to appreciate like the art and whatever the story is.
Yeah, but then there's no art. It's fucking they're perverts.
Yeah, dude. Now it's hard. It really is hard to support anything because, as we all know, this shit really does exist. Then
there's stuff I'm into still. Like there's but it's more shows now. Like what about I don't even know the name of it. Better Call Saul. I've watched all that shit because I love like Bob Odenkirk. I've always been a big fan of his. So there are things that I get into and watch, but for some reason, movies and
dude, a lot of the times, by the time I actually have time to watch TV, it's like I have 10 minutes, I'm out.
Yeah,
that's it. It's like put it on and go to sleep.
I like TV.
I don't know if I can ever.
Oh, dude, listen, I love it, but like
with Tom Hanks, I don't know if I can ever watch like Saving Private Ryan or anything like that again either with him in it. It's like,
dude, and that's where I'm at.
Kevin Spacey stuff I already really can't watch.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
Kevin Spacey's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
too.
You guys want to hear a funny?
He's
Kevin
a pedophile.
Story?
It's like he touched a 14-year-old.
No, this is like
just
like a literal story that I.
You have? Like,
yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like through fourth party.
He didn't touch.
Okay, no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
We could talk.
I would be getting money.
That'd be huge.
That's a release on the podcast. Doing the money dance right now.
You sure he didn't?
No.
We can go after this.
Anyway,
Spacey.
A friend of ours.
You were the waiter, weren't you?
A friend of ours. He went to a bachelor party in New York City, and
a friend of ours.
A friend of mine. Friend of ours. He went to a bachelor party in New York City for his older brother.
Can we call him?
I just don't.
Yeah,
want to
we're
mention
not,
his name on here because I don't know if he wants to know him.
We're not going to do
weird.
that. We don't answer.
So this is what happened.
We don't fucking.
He went to a bachelor party for his brother in New York City. They got like the party bus, all this shit. And this is 17, 18 years ago, like, way before my daughter was born. And he went to New York City. They're on the party bus, and all of his friends were there, his brother's friends, and there was a guy from New York City who did security, professional security. And they're hanging out, and this dude, he's like us, him very well. He's picking the guy's brain, just hanging out. They start clicking. And he pulls his phone out, and he goes, Kevin Spacey's calling me again. So our boy goes, wait, what? And he's like, yeah. He's like, I did security for him, and now he won't stop fucking calling me. And he's like, what do you mean? He goes, he called me a couple nights ago and left me a voicemail asking me to come over while he was taking a bath. And like, what? So long story short, like, this is the confirmation of, like, just, the guy wasn't saying it in any bad way. He was just like it's normal. He was a professional security guy. He's like, fuck, Kevin Spacey, other shit, like, offered him all kinds of weird shit. So anyway, our buddy, the next time the phone rings, punches the fucking phone number in his phone and probably still has it to this day. So we private numbered him a couple times, kept getting his voicemail. Kept getting Kevin Spacey's voicemail.
That's fucking sick, dude. Is that number still available?
I don't know, but I would.
Can we call Kevin Spacey?
I don't know if it's actually his number, but I bet our buddy still has the number saved in his phone because he's that anal about
Kevin
shit.
Spacey, you're on the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast.
No, that's serious. Like, that's a true.
What do you think
story.
about pedophilia
He's like,
in Hollywood?
the dude's all bothered. He's like, yeah, he wants to. And I mean, that's not pedophilia. The guy was growing up, and he was a grown man, probably in his 30s at the time. But this was way before Kevin Spacey came out as gay or anything.
No,
like
I'm talking about getting Kevin Spacey.
But and then also
his
the
number.
Kevin's no. But I mean, I'm just saying, like,
the dude.
I don't want to make it sound like it was a pedophilia thing because it wasn't. The guy
I'm saying Kevin Spacey is not like
no. The dude, it was a waiter that he.
Right.
The guy, he was a security guard, and he was a grown man at the time. So Kevin Spacey wasn't trying to be a pedophile.
Pedophile.
Right.
But I'm just saying, this was way before the gay stuff came out, and this and that
Kevin
No
Spacey.
shit.
Yeah, this was the early 2000s.
So you had a heads up on this. You had
we were calling him private number to see if he'd answer, and it was going to go to his voicemail.
So
and it was his.
what if Kevin
Confirmation.
Spacey?
And he did
Wacko.
American Beauty, where he banged his daughter's friend who was.
He's messed up, dude.
Well, he was what was the other movie?
They
too
tend
that
to
he
choose
did?
roles
Is
that
the same one where he
fit their
he went to
personality.
prison, got the death penalty, and all that shit?
No. The one
That's A Beautiful Mind or some shit, right?
Beautiful Mind.
'Cause he
Isn't that
did-
Russell.
I have no idea, but I know Spacey did a movie where he basically raped the chick in the bathroom, but him and the chick had set it up, and he got executed even though he was innocent.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
After he got executed, the chick sent in a manila envelope with all the tapes and said that I'm doing this on my own accord and gonna show that the state would kill an innocent man, and then turns out he was
But yeah, it was just a
fucking weirdo.
It doesn't
Dude.
tie into pedophilia, but it's just a.
You got to sit
No,
on
only
the,
Kevin Spacey
It's
story.
confirmed creeper.
you got
Yeah.
to sit on
Yeah.
the you got to sit
No,
on
I got you.
the throne though. He's a piece of shit. Yeah, man. But so it stretches pretty deep, man. But as you guys have said, that I guess the only way that we can really keep a movement going is to keep fucking
Talk about it.
keep talking,
That's what we
keep
can do, at least
exposing
for
it,
now.
I don't the hashtags they are what they are. You want to fucking hashtag shit, all it really does is fucking. I mean, you can get out there on the streets. You can get out there on the streets.
It is the way of the world now, social media. So.
Well, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, they're just blocking them all, and they're fucking. It sucks, dude, and that's real quick before we do start to wrap up. I want to touch on the censorship, these fucking hashtags, even though they're only hashtags, have all been censored. So anything that you post and have Pizzagate,
it's not even that. Could you imagine?
Pedagate, was it Save the Children? They block it all.
Could you imagine living in a day and time, regardless of what you think of Trump, living in a day and time where social media, which is a news outlet now, they're censoring and blocking the president of the United States.
Absolutely.
Which I get it, but it's amazing. It's definitely
symbolic.
it's setting a precedent of some scary shit. I mean, and but there's people know how I feel about
Who's
the
the
office
fascist?
of the presidency
You know what I
and all of
mean?
that, but exactly. The office has always been respected, and it's always been things are really topsy turvy right now. It's just
dude.
kind of crazy.
Well, who has the mantle? Is it Silicon Valley and these these people writing these codes and stuff, and the leaders of Google and Facebook, your Zucks?
Yeah.
Who's really in on it? Is it Bezos? Do these politicians even have any power really anymore? Or they're just figureheads that are just absorbing the benefits of being figureheads or chess pieces.
I think that's all what it comes down to is the ego. It's the ego. So you gotta have your dick swinging, or whatever. You have to have that big ass head mindset. You have to take everything. It's like you said, it's a control thing.
It's consuming.
It's a control thing. It's an ego thing. It's a badge thing. It's a badge of honor. It's you need to be showing out. You need to be known.
I mean,
what's that? Narcissism?
Yeah,
kind of. It's it's just
sociopaths. They're all
even
pretty much all sociopaths.
Well,
you have to
the whole reptile brain, even going back to dinosaurs, if that was a thing, where they just kept eating
dinosaurs.
No, I do. I loved them when I was a kid.
Dinosaurs.
I was like,
but I don't trust anything
I caught
anymore.
that, and I was like, what?
I got to be skeptical of everything nowadays.
Dinosaurs are just big lizards.
Exactly, but they used to eat and consume just the next biggest thing.
The Earth was bountiful at the time,
and we might have gotten out of that form of evolution, whatever, but it's still there. Supposedly, that reptile brain.
Oh no,
first, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
We have a tail before we're.
Yeah.
So,
I did it. I think I can't remember which episode I did it on, but we talked about the reptilian brain. You have, it's not called that exactly,
right?
Scientifically,
but it's what is produced first when you're in the womb that has those.
It's like the fight or flight mechanism in the brain.
Yeah,
and the part that
and the consuming. It's consume or be consumed.
Yeah. Damn, Pearly. You are out to sabotage this podcast.
She is.
Well, in any event, with that being said, while the cat's trying to take down the podcast, I want to thank you guys for coming again and being on the podcast. And thanks thank Fat Mike for sitting here and rolling my blunts for most of the night.
Thank you, Fat Mike.
And anybody that's out there listening, don't forget to stop by the YouTube page and check out the Facebook page and all that stuff. And thanks for listening. Chap, Tommy, you guys got anything?
I don't know. It was all
Peace.
set for me. Yeah. Have a good night.
You look tired.
No, I mean, there was a lot said, for sure.
I don't feel like we covered everything, so maybe we'll do a part 2.
I don't know if we ever
I was just looking up
It's
reptilian
also,
brain.
like, there's so much that goes into it because it's, like, really the root. This is the root. Like, this is the root, like, illnesses that are throwing off the whole vibrational rift of our fucking planet.
Well,
you know what
to
I mean?
everybody out there listening, dude,
Like,
keep fucking waking up, keep exposing this shit, keep fucking, keep asking questions, you know?
Change that vibe.
Change everything, man. Raise that shit. Till next time. See you guys later. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. Don't forget to support local music, art, and business. And while you're at it, if you're feeling like you need to get a haircut, stop over to Straight Razor Society Barbershop located at 99 Broad Street, Waterford, New York. My man Joe Kinney over there will take care of you and get you looking right. Check out the Facebook page at Straight Razor Society or call 518-321-6607 to schedule your appointment. Also, if you're looking to buy or sell a house, check out Venture Realty Solutions, the premier full-service real estate brokerage. Every step of the way, my dude Irv Ackerman is there to help you out. Get in touch on Facebook at Venture Realty Solutions. Yo, is your house dirty? Want to give your house, deck, or fence a good cleaning? Call First Choice Contracting to get it all pressure washed. These dudes are amazing. They do everything. Pressure washing, gutters, gutter cleaning. Give Steven a call at 518-860-9371 or stop by www.first-choice-gc.com. Also, if you have any mold or a property that needs to be cleaned or demoed, residential or commercial, call Clean Environmental Solutions at 518-417-2308 now for an estimate. Certified mold removal and property cleanouts. Thanks again for listening to this episode of the Nonsensical Knowledge Podcast. Be sure to stop by our YouTube page, like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page at Nonsensical Knowledge for more information, updates, and content.